A quick test here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network, and we actually have a quick echo that we'll fix as we get this broadcast started in game number 21 of the Cape League season between the Brewster Whitecaps and the Bourne Braves. The third time these two teams will meet this summer, and the second time it comes here from Stony Brook Field in Brewster for a beautiful Wednesday night to get set for a crucial matchup in the second half of this season. Brewster sits at 9-11, third spot right now in the East Division, and the Braves just afloat of a playoff spot. 7-11-2 in fourth. Falmouth and them right there fighting for that fourth spot, so this game means a lot here tonight. Merrick Houston back in the lineup for the Braves, coming back from Team USA. He'll bat first once again, back in his leadoff spot as Bourne puts Bo Bryans on the bump, his second start this summer, as he started against YD back on the second and got the win. But the Whitecaps and the Braves, Bourne looking for their first win against Brewster this summer, coming up at 5 p.m. on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Yesterday's day off, the Bourne Braves are back in action here at Stony Brook Field against the Brewster Whitecaps. Hello and welcome to pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Adam Gotkin alongside Cam Manna and Nathan Schwartz. And Cam, starting off, the big story coming into today's game is the return of Merrick Houston from Team USA.
Yeah, to have him back is huge for this lineup. 7 starts for the Braves, is batting .391, and as Nathan Schwartz says in the broadcast, the walk merchant had 11 walks, still near the top of this Braves squad. So he's going to bat first here for good reason. Gets on base at a very high clip, what he did at Wake Forest, batting .326 this past spring. He'll team up with Ethan Conrad, get to know each other here as teammates this coming fall. But what he's able to bring to this lineup, a really good glove, and just getting on base at the top of the order can be a new engine for this order.
That's the big thing. That's the key for this squad, to get on base, because they can start stealing bases, and that's how this team wins games. Nathan, over to you. Today's starting pitcher, Bo Bryans. It's his second start of the year, and his first time out, he looked pretty good against YD.
Yeah, really good YD lineup, given it wasn't the YD lineup that Bourne saw on Monday at Dorn Park, but still a very good lineup that featured Vahiva, Loy, Easton Carmichael, and a bunch of other very talented players out in Yarmouth Dennis. And it was only 2 hits, 1 earned run, cost 5 innings for Bo in that last start. It's going to be another very dangerous lineup he's facing in this Whitecap team today, but I think he's ready to live up to the challenge.
And this is a pretty important game for the Bravos, coming off of the off day, and then this stretch coming up feels like a really important one, because we are officially at the halfway point of the season. We've played 20, and there's 20 to go.
And it's time to separate yourself from that 5th place spot in Falmouth. You'll play Brewster here, Orleans tomorrow, who the Braves have already beaten, then a good weekend stretch with Hyannis and Falmouth back-to-back on a Friday, Saturday night. So this is where the Braves, hopefully can go 3-1 in these next 4 games. This is the time where you have to start playing your best baseball. Don't want to be in that 4th, 5th, 1-game kind of like range with Falmouth as the season goes on. So the Braves now, with this new team coming together and having the USA guys back, it's time to turn it on.
Yeah, absolutely time to turn it on. Well, we'll continue on now here on Pre-Game Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gotkin now joined by Tristan Becerra, the newest member of the Bourne Braves here ahead of the game against the Brewster Whitecaps. Tristan, first off, first game here on the Cape. How excited are you to be out here?
I'm really excited. It's been something I dreamed of doing since I was a little kid, hearing about, all the host families and just good baseball up here, so I'm really excited.
You played summer ball the last couple summers down in the Coastal Plain League and the Valley League. What's something that you learned from playing those summers that you think you're going to, use here on the Cape?
It was just good getting experience in those leagues. They actually have pretty good competition, but I'm definitely excited about, stepping up the competition up here.
This is your first game, of course, with the wood bat after using the metal throughout the entire season. What's that adjustment like? How important are these first couple days of batting practice to getting used to the wood bats again?
Yeah, I've been able to swing wood for the past couple weeks while I was getting ready to come up here, and I think it's just having confidence in your plan and your preparation, and just knowing it's still got a sweet spot and still got to hit it on the barrel either way. So.
You're still new here. What's it like in the dugout, just meeting everyone and just getting used to everyone in the team?
Yeah, it's fun meeting guys from all over the country. Everybody's been super friendly. Seems like a good group of guys, so I'm excited to spend the rest of the summer with them.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tristan.
Thank you.
As we continue on here on Pre-Game Tomahawk Talk, ahead of the Bravos taking on the Whitecaps, I'm Adam Gotkin, joined now by beat reporter for the Bravos, Sean Brennan. And Sean, once again for Brewster, a starting pitcher against Bourne, who has got a lot of experience.
Yeah, Seth Tomczak out of Cal State Fullerton. He was mainly a reliever this year, but has 2 starts in his 4 appearances on the Cape, has a 2.31 ERA. The strikeout number is not staggering, but he's been very solid in 11 2/3 innings for the Whitecaps. And we're going to talk about it a little later, but he looks to be a bright spot in a season where the Caps pitching has been less than stellar.
And once again, just like the first time that the Bravos were here at Stony Brook Field, they're facing a guy who is over 23 years old. This is a pretty young Bourne team, so we'll see if maybe that has any effect on this game itself. Something that probably will have an effect on this game is this Brewster offense and how good they've been playing lately.
Oh, absolutely. The Whitecaps have won 4 of their last 5, and a big part of that is their offense. They have the best in the past 6 games, the best average, and the most hits in the league. So, I mean, we saw the lineup today, and it's mind-boggling. They got a ton of talent on there. But through all of that, the pitching still has been not great. They, over the course of the season, been the worst in the league. In the past 6 games, they are 8th in terms of ERA. So definitely an opportunity for Bourne's offense that has been playing quite well recently to do some damage.
And a big part of that recent offensive success for Brewster is the impact of some guys who have joined the team recently, especially a couple guys who are at the College World Series.
Yeah, Caden Ken is the main guy for Texas A&M. He filled in when Braden Montgomery went down at shortstop with a broken ankle, and he did not disappoint. Hit well over 400, had 14 RBI, and he took that momentum and carried it into Brewster. He's been a weapon. I mean, his swing is so pure. Yeah, he has a ton of power, and you can really fill in the blank with anybody in Brewster's lineup, but he's going to be a guy that I'm looking at.
Well, it should be fun to watch. First pitch coming up soon at 5 p.m. here from Stony Brook Field.
Autographs for you all right down on the third base side of the field next to the Whitecaps souvenir stand. So go get your autographs from Abilene Christian's Isaac Norton, Louisville's Patrick Forbes, Vanderbilt's Luke Duff, Wake Forest Luke Schmolke, Oklahoma State's Ryan Muir, and Wake Forest, Zach Johnston.
Game number 21 of the Cape League season, and it comes your way from Stony Brook Field on this Wednesday night for an East-West showdown between the Brewster Whitecaps and the Bourne Braves. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will be with us shortly as we gear up for a crucial matchup here out east in Brewster. And this Braves offense, Nathan, we'll start with them. They've been playing better of late. They have more hits than their opponents in 3 of the last 4 games. And a name that comes back, the name that you gave to him, the walk merchant in Merrick Houston, batting first tonight.
Yeah, coming back from Team USA, and we've seen a lot of teams throughout the Cape get their Team USA guys back. We saw that with YD on Monday in the 8-2 loss. Merrick coming back is going to be huge for this offense. He's going to bat leadoff once again, just as he was doing before he left for Team USA. He had a .360 average before he left. The walk merchant himself with 11 walks, which is still second on this team, just behind Chris Stanfield with 12. So if he can continue to get an on-base that he was getting at before, which was a .556 clip, this offense, so many more doors can open for them.
The Demon Deacon batting first, and Clay Grady, who was the shortstop the last few nights and batting first, now will bat 9th for the Braves. We'll go to the pitching side now in Bo Bryant, making his second start of the summer. That last one against YD on the second was big for this Braves squad. They had that win at South Yarmouth, only 1 earned allowed, so Bo Bryant's looking to continue that consistency here on the bump.
Yeah, and it's a role that he's used to. At 15 starts this spring with Jones County, 70 2/3 innings, an ERA below 3.5, and what do you know? He gets into a role that he's comfortable with, and he's able to mow down a very talented YD lineup, only giving up those 2 hits and the 1 earned run. He also kept the walks down as well. The strikeout numbers have been there all summer long, so I'm excited to see what he can do against another very potent lineup in the Whitecaps here tonight.
Very dominant lineup for this Whitecaps group, coming off a 4-3 win and on a 2-game win streak. And talking about how much this game means. Now July 10th, we're past the halfway point. Bourne comes off an off day at 7-11-2. Them and Falmouth are kind of playing keep away from each other in the 4-5 spot. They'll play on Saturday, but this is such a crucial game, and Bourne now has to turn on the Jets here and start playing their best baseball.
Yeah, I mean, this is the back half of the season here on the Cape. There's no more what-ifs, right? This is now go time. This is time to figure things out. This is where your best players need to play like your best players. And for a Bourne team that has been playing better baseball the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it can only go up from here, and I expect them to continue with the hot bats.
Well, first pitch coming up from Stony Brook Field. Starting lineups getting announced. 5 p.m. first pitch. It's Brewster, it's Bourne, coming up on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
California Baptist, number 11, Nick Dumanil. Batting second, the shortstop from Texas A&M, number 6. Batting third, the catcher from Arkansas, number 27, Ryder Helfrich. Batting fourth, the third baseman from Tennessee, number 13, Andrew Fisher. Batting fifth, the designated hitter from Miami, number 14, Dan. Sixth, the first baseman from Florida, number 29, Brody Donay. Batting seventh, the right fielder from Vanderbilt, number 26, J.D. Rogers. Batting eighth, the second baseman from Florida State, number 3, Drew Varro. Batting ninth, the center fielder from UC, number 5, Diamez Ross. And starting on the mound for your Whitecaps from Cal State Fullerton, number 30, Zach Tomzak. Your Whitecaps are coached by Mr. Jamie Shevchik. He's assisted by Brian Del Rosso, Scott Nico Amory, Rocco DiPietro, and Ethan Cagno. The Whitecaps bat kids today are Patrick Tabb and Marino Barber. Whitecaps fans, it's time for our ceremonial first pitch, and today, the Whitecaps honor our community partners in the Brewster Recreation Program. Brewster Rec serves hundreds of people of all ages in dozens of programs, from the community pool to the pickleball court. In 1987, Brewster Recreation, whose kids are joining us on the field right now, founded the Brewster Whitecaps. Our first bat boy is today's recreation director, He was the Whitecaps general manager intern in 1998, and he joined the Whitecaps board of directors in 2001. With deep roots in Brewster and with the Whitecaps, we welcome back to the mound our first ever Brewster Whitecaps bat kid, our first ever member of that group, Recreation Director Mike Gradone. Mr. Gradone, the mound is yours. Wonderful! Again, Mike Gradone, thank you so much for all your work with the Brewster Whitecaps throughout your years. Fans, at this time, we ask you to kindly rise, if able, and remove your caps. Here to perform our national anthem is Sarah Dewey. Sarah is an oceanographer and a former Brewster resident who currently lives in Washington, D.C. with her beloved husband and her dog. She's grateful to her grandparents for instilling a lifelong love of Cape Cod, for time spent here with friends and family, and for the opportunity to contribute to the Whitecaps this evening.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket broad the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Sarah Dewey, a wonderful, wonderful performance. Thank you so much. And also a big thank you to all the wonderful kids from Brewster Recreation.
July 10th, game number 21 of the Cape League season here on this Wednesday night from Stony Brook Field, an East-West showdown between Brewster and Bourne. Thanks for joining us here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Happy you could be here for a big night of baseball. And Brewster takes the field first, and it's Seth Tomczak on the mound out of Cal State Fullerton.
You're going to make his fifth appearance of the summer, his third start. So far, he's 1-0 with a 2.31 ERA across 11 2/3 innings pitched. The big thing with Tomczak, he has not walked anybody so far this summer, and that's to 12 strikeouts as well. He's been outstanding in that starting role, and he's going to face a very different-looking Bourne lineup.
And here is that Bourne lineup. Right now they go with number 10, Merrick the Demon Deacon from Team USA, back with the Braves playing shortstop. Cam Kojal bats second, doing the DHing. Ethan Conrad, after the off day and the day off on the field, he'll bat third and play right. Braden Holcomb in the cleanup spot playing third base. Chris Stanfield batting fifth and playing center field. We'll talk about that. He has been everywhere. Ben Hartle bats sixth, doing the catching. Garrett Michelle batting seventh and playing first. Tristan Becerra bats eighth and plays left field, a newcomer for the Braves, the outfielder out of Clemson. And Clay Grady bats ninth and plays second. So the two newcomers here, Houston we just talked about, Tristan Becerra out of Clemson, 298 hitter this past spring.
Yeah, you might remember in that Clemson regional, Clemson had a walk-off in that first game against High Point. Well, Becerra was the one to provide that walk-off. It was 109 miles an hour off the bat into right center field to send Clemson to the 1-0 game in their own regional. And for Becerra, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but he didn't play a whole lot his first 2 years at Clemson, didn't play a whole lot to begin this 2024 season, but really turned it on as of late and won Clemson's Most Improved Player award.
Well, the Braves will swing it first in the road blues with the red lettering and the red numbers, with the gray pants and the red piping. And Brewster in their home white pinstripes with the teal blue hats and the black and teal lettering with the white pinstripe pants here tonight. Merrick Houston steps in, Seth Tomczak on the bump on a windy afternoon here from Stony Brook Field. Tomczak takes the rubber, Merrick Houston, the black cleat, steps in the righty's batter's box. Game number 21 underway from Brewster. First pitch ball inside, a 5:04 first pitch. 80 and partly cloudy, and at the moment 16-mile-per-hour winds. Tomczak, the righty, stands at 6'3". Kicks and deals, Houston a wave and a miss. Merrick Houston, 326 hitter for the Demon Deacons this spring. 11 walks, still at the top of this Braves squad. Started 7 games before departing Team USA. 1-1 breaking ball above the Braves letters inside.
Yeah, and the last time we saw him was the 24th at Hyannis. That was when Ethan Conrad got to this team, so it's been a while since we've seen Houston in a Bravo uniform.
Tomczak, 2-1 in the attic, 3-1 here to Houston. And as Nathan calls him, the walk merchant ahead here in his first AB. 391 hitter, 9 for 23 before leaving. 2 stolen bases as well. Bat in his shoulder, now stands tall. 3-1, and fouled back off our home plate umpire in Scott Hart. Glenn Stewart at first, and Marty Hassenfuss at third base here tonight. Brewster comes in at 9-11, the Braves 7-11-2. Third meeting between these two squads. Bourne has dropped both so far. They dropped the first one here back in game number 2 of this season. Feels so long ago. That was a battle that ended just a little bit early here at Stony Brook Field. Tomczak sets 3-2 to the first hitter in Houston, and Houston lines it, but laces it foul into the Brewster bullpen.
And the one thing that's going to benefit Bourne and for Merrick Houston is it's not like he's been away from the team and not been swinging a bat. He's been seeing some of the best pitching. You know, they run those inter squads. They face a lot of good international competition at Team USA as well.
3-2 once again, outside corner, strike 3. Houston goes down looking. Tomczak, his first strikeout to begin, his 13th of the season. And we'll take a look at your Brewster defense. From left to right in the outfield, it's Nick Dumanel. Diamez Ross in center, J.D. Rogers in right. And from third to first in the infield, Andrew Fisher just committed to Tennessee. He's the hot corner. Caden Kennett short. Drew Farrow at second. Brody Donay plays first. And Ryder Helfrich is the battery with Tomczak. Here's the lefty and Cam Kojal. First pitch to him with 1 away. Misses low and outside. Cam Kojal in the American flag cleats. He's been doing that his last 4 games. Swinging a harder bat as he's hit the portal in the last week. And up in the count 2-0.
And he didn't try to bring too much attention to the drip. Just something he likes to do. He likes to let the play on the field speak for himself. He's done it and kind of just has been a quiet little drip addition as he lines one up the middle for a single on a 2-0 count. Cam Kojal came in batting .208 after an 0 for 3 2 nights ago. The Braves' first hit and their first base runner here tonight. And for Cam, now 6-game on-base streak. He's had an extra base hit in 3 of those 5 games, a lot of those being doubles. He had the home run at Katuitt over the weekend. But good to see him just get on base and continue this hot streak. And that wind towering in here from Brewster as Ethan Conrad takes the box. Now the new Demon Deacon, teammates with Merrick Houston this coming fall. First pitch to the lefty, may have clipped him. It gets to the backstop, and Kojal will advance 90 feet on the wild pitch. Kojal had a stolen base versus YD 2 nights back in the Braves' 8-2 loss. That game went 8 innings, and the first fog out that has been concluded due to fog at Dorn Park in the history of the Braves organization.
Conrad so far 20 for 41, 488 hitter. That's second on the Cape here to begin for his stint with the Bravos. Has an RBI chance. Tomczak from the stretch. 1-0. Conrad, ground ball right side, backhanded from Farrow, throws to first. It's in time. Kojul advances to third, and there's 2 down for Braden Holcomb.
And what you're going to get with Ethan Conrad, he's always going to hit the ball hard. He's had a couple of soft contacts recently, but they've been productive soft outs right there. A hard ground ball that's able to move Kojul over to third base, even though he isn't able to reach.
Big spot here for Braden Holcomb. The rising sophomore at Vanderbilt playing third base here tonight. Hitting .279 with 2 doubles. As Andrew Fisher, the third baseman, talks to his arm in Seth Tomczak here before the first pitch is to Holcomb. No score, top 1, 2 away. Kojul 90 feet away as the Braves looking to strike first here on the road. First base side of the rubber is Tomczak. Glove with the belt. First pitch to Holcomb. Line, down the line in right, has some room. It's a fair ball. Kojul scores. Holcomb takes the turn. He's going to motor into second base, and there it is for the Bravos. An RBI double for Braden Holcomb, and the Braves strike first here in top 1.
And we keep going back to it, but this team just hasn't had a whole lot of leads early in games. They've been playing from behind a whole lot so far this summer. Even in the last week where the offense has really picked things up, the starting pitching hasn't been there. They've had to come back from a lot of deficits, so it's crucial here to get a run early off of Holcomb, who has struggled to hit for the extra base hit this year.
Just his third double now leads the team in hits as Chris Stanfield, the righty, steps in. First pitch fastball down Main Street. Stanfield 1 for 3 2 nights back against YD. Hitting 2 for 17 with 7 RBIs. Now with 8 stolen bases and riding an 8-game on-base streak at the moment here for the Braves. Tomczak looks at second. 0-1 breaking ball, blocked from Helfrich.
And what we're seeing from Chris Stanfield here, pretty bizarre. He's now, with hitting in the 5th spot today, hit in 7 of the 9 spots in this Bourne order so far just this summer.
In the first 8 of 9 games, he was the leadoff hitter. Then it went down to 9. We saw him bat third 2 nights back against YD. Helfrich takes a pause. 4 on the pitch clock. 1-1 with 2 away. Pitch to Stanfield. Chopper at Donay at first base. Won't hop over the 6'5 first baseman, and that ends the inning. But not after Braden Holcomb strikes first for the Braves with an RBI double in the top of the first inning. Braves in front early as Bo Bryans, the lefty, and transferring to Alabama, takes the bump next here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Braden Holcomb, an RBI double in the top of the first inning, and the Braves take the field for the first time in bottom 1, led by the lefty in Bo Bryans. His second start this summer, and Nathan, fantastic in the last one, back in the second against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox.
Yeah, he goes 5 innings, 2 hits, only 1 earned run in that one. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, able to pick up the win there in a spot where he just was getting back to his starting ways. He made 15 starts this spring at the JUCO level, pitching to a .344 ERA. He made his first 3 appearances with Bourne out of the bullpen. Just wasn't quite himself, but he was able to lock in and get a tremendous start last Monday.
He'll be a part of the Crimson Tide this coming fall, and here's the lineup that he'll face for Brewster, the number 4 offense at the moment here on the Cape. Nick Dumanel bats first and plays left field. Caden Kent playing shortstop once again, hitting .414 through his first 7. He'll bat second. Ryder Helfrich bats third and does the catching. Andrew Fisher just committed to Tennessee, batting fourth and playing third base. Danny Cuvée, a home run last night, batting fifth, doing the DHing. Brody Donay bats sixth and plays first. J.D. Rogers in the 7-hole playing right. Drew Farrow bats 8th and plays second, and Diamez Ross bats 9th and plays center field.
Number 11.
Bo Bryans gets set. 6 strikeouts to 3 walks here to begin. Formerly out of Jones County Community College, the 6', 190 left-hander looks towards center field at the flag and now steps on the rubber. Nick Dumanel, the righty, steps in. Has the teal tape and the beige bat on his shoulder as he steps in, and Bo Bryan set. Bottom 1 underway. Dumanel, first pitch swinging. Right field and shallow. Conrad comes in, drops for a single. So Nick Dumanel responds here early for the Whitecaps, their first hit on their first pitch.
And he wastes no time extending his hitting streak to now 6 games after having 2 hits yesterday against the Cavaliers. He's now had 1 hit in all 3 of this summer's contest between the Bravos and the Whitecaps.
Showed the long ball, 2 for 4 last night was Dumanel. And here's Caden Kent, the shortstop out of A&M. Kent will bat left here against the lefty in Bo Bryan's. Middle infield pinches here for the Braves. Just underway in bottom 1, and a pickover back safely is Dumanel. First appearance for Bo Bryan's was 2 innings against Wareham on the 22nd. That was only 2 innings of work on 2 hits out of the bullpen. But his last appearance was his best as a starter. Throws one up and out here to Kent, 1-0.
And for Kent, he's just been tearing up the Cape ever since he got here. He's got a hit in all 7 games he's played, hitting .414 for this Brewster squad.
And played for Chatham last summer, where Kent was able to bat .326. An all-star for the Anglers, playing shortstop, and stays in the East Division here with the Whitecaps. Bryans looks at first, 1-0 delivery. Fastball's low and out at 91. That wind going to play a factor here tonight for a lot of these hitters. At the moment, around 16 miles per hour. And blowing out as well. 2-0. Kent pops it up. Third base side, foul territory. Holcomb's there, takes 2 steps into the outfield, and makes the catch for out number 1. And we'll take a look at your Bourne defense. From left to right in the outfield, it's Tristan Becerra in left. Chris Stanfield anchors in center. Ethan Conrad plays right. And from third to first in the infield, Braden Holcomb made that catch of the hot corner. Merrick Houston plays short. Clay Grady moves to second. Garrett Michelle plays first. And Ben Hartle, the battery with Bo Bryans. It's the righty Ryder Helfrich out of Arkansas. The powerful swing so far this summer. Bryans from the stretch, sidearm delivery. Misses outside. 6 home runs so far for Helfrich, hitting .290. 20 hits, that's tied for the team lead. Middle infield still pinching for the Braves as Bryans picks over once again. And we talk about running the bases. Bourne loves to do it. Brewster does it at a very same clip.
Yeah, top 2 teams in the Cape with the stolen base department. Brewster with 47, Bourne with 52 so far in the first half of the summer.
And Bryans back to first base. Bit closer, Dumanel back safely. Garrett Michelle holding him on. This spring for Bo Bryans, a 7-1 record, had 110 strikeouts. That was 3rd in the MACCC overall. His 1-0 delivery. Called strike on the up and inside corner to Helfrich. He hit .179 at Arkansas this past spring. Entering his sophomore season, only 84 ABs, but has turned it on here on the Cape and the heart of this Brewster order. Bryans looks at first, high leg kick. 1-1 pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Hartle. It's 1-2.
It's going to be big for Bryans to just continue to stay ahead of these hitters. A lot of these guys coming in, swinging a really hot bat, a lot of hitting streaks we'll talk about in the lineup, a lot of on-base streaks as well.
Bryans looking for out number 2 in his first punch out. 1-2, swing and a miss, gets it right there. Puts down Helfrich, there's 2 down. Andrew Fisher to the plate, and Bo Bryans goes to the low and inside slider on a 1-2.
And you talk about the strikeouts at Jones County, Cam, with 110. That's now 11 here on the Cape. He's been very consistent with those strikeout numbers, had 4 of them in his last start.
And we'll have to get through Andrew Fisher here, but those 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk in that last appearance, 1 earned run against YD. It was a dangerous offense. They've become even more dangerous, as the Brave fans know, after that loss 2 nights back. The lefty steps in, first pitch to Fisher, misses low and outside. We see that mix from Bo Bryans, that fastball around 91 miles per hour, can work it elevated. And that slider low and away, changeup as well mixed in for the lefty. Dumanel off first base, 1-0, 2 away. Bryans the pitch. Hard ground ball right side. Grady dives. He knocks it down, then rolls into right field. Dumanel steps on second, heads for third base. Conrad picks it up, throws to the cutoff. And it's first and third, just like that for the Whitecaps with 2 down. Their second hit here tonight, and looking to match the Braves here in bottom 1.
And fresh off that commitment just yesterday to the defending national champions in Tennessee, Fisher picking up right where he left off when he left Brewster at the end of last week before going on those visits to try and find his next school. Now to an 8-game on-base streak, and he's reached base in all but 1 game he's played in this summer for the Whitecaps.
First and third for Danny Cuvée. First pitch to the righty out of Miami, and goes up the ladder on the heater. Went 1 for 4 last night, but his one swing was a big one, a 454-foot bomb at Lowell Park against the Kettleers in the 4-3 win. As the orange batting gloves and the 0-1 comes in, misses low and inside. 2 hits for both sides here early on a Braves 1-0 lead in bottom 1 from Stony Brook Field. Dumanel off third base, Fisher off first, a threat to run. Bryans, the high leg kick, 1-1. Fastball low and in, and a hitter's count to Cuvée. Hit .351 this spring for the U with 24 bombs during his freshman season. And has shown the power early on in the Cape with 3 of his own. Bryans 2-1. Inside once again, a 3-1 count. And Brewster here threatening on the Braves 1-0 lead.
And for Brewster, a team that is the best in the Cape this summer against left-handed pitching, hitting .298.
Have 2 hits here in the inning. Looking for the run. 3-1. And it's called strike on the inner half. It's a full count. Ben Hartle comes out of his squat as the infield goes back to normal depth. 3-2, 2 away. Bryans looking to keep the Braves in front early. Here's the payoff pitch. Line drive, center field. Here comes Stanfield, makes the catch. It was right at him. Hat came off with the wind, but the Braves and the inning. 2 hits and no runs for the Whitecaps, and after 1 here from Stony Brook Field. The Bravos in front of Brewster, 1-0.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Top of the second inning here from Stony Brook Field on this Wednesday night as the Braves an early 1-0 lead. And now joined with Adam Gotkin with some looks with Major League Baseball scores and matchups for tonight.
Well, we've got a couple doubleheaders around the majors today, starting off a game that's already finished, Royals against the Cardinals. That was a 6-4 Kansas City victory. The Royals scored 2 in the top of the 8th inning. And by the way, what a season this young Royals squad has had so far, 50-43. Later tonight at 6:35, the Cubs take on the Orioles. That's one heck of a starting pitching matchup between Shota Imanaga and Corbin Burns. Guardians versus Tigers gets underway at 6:40. Tanner Bybee is 7-3 this year. He played for the Gatemen, by the way, in 2019. Mariners against the Padres at 6:40. That's an early start out on the West Coast. The Padres have lost 3 in a row. And then the Yankees take on the Rays at 6:50. Cam, your Yanks have lost 7 of the last 10. They got to turn things around tonight.
Wow, way to end it right there for Adam Gotkin. Thanks so much. And now joined alongside Nathan Schwartz once again, as Nathan during the off day yesterday was at a Red Sox game. We'll get into that in just a second, as the Braves send Ben Hartle to the plate here. 6, 7, 8, 9 for Bourne, as Tom Zach his first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. It's that Red Sox game against the A's last night. Nate was in Boston at Fenway for a lot of the Red Sox listeners, as Hartle sees the 0-1. It's a strike once again on the outside corner.
Yeah, a lot to like about Fenway Park. My first time in Boston, my first time at Fenway Park, my first time at an MLB ballpark outside of the DMV area.
Tom Zach, 0-2 to Hartle. Hard ground ball right side, right at Donay at first. Steps on the bag for out number 1. I was able to go to a Red Sox-Yanks doubleheader back in 2017. Fenway is a great stadium, great venue. Packed house last night against the A's. And you, our beat reporter, and Sean Brennan, our camera operator, and John Wesley Cochran made the trip. I decided as a Yanks fan to hit the beach yesterday as Garrett Michelle steps in, first pitch swinging on a low and inside breaking ball.
We'll see what I did, Cam. As an O's fan, I just decided to rep my team. Wore the Orioles polo. I saw a guy with an Orioles hat. I got 5 comments about my polo as well.
Tom Zach 0-1, Michelle late on the fastball, quickly 0-2. There was a lot of stories that you brought up about the Orioles polo. If I went, I was going to wear my Mickey Mantle shirt, but would have definitely caused not the best of looks at Fenway as Tom Zach misses up and outside.
Yeah, didn't see anybody wearing any Yankees gear. That probably would have been a little weird with the A's in town.
Would have not made a lot of sense at all. Tom Zach from the windup, 1-2, and Michelle just fouls it off, and he'll stay alive. The Hokies 6 for 42, coming off a 1 for 3 2 nights back against YD. Looking to find his spark here in the second half of the Cape season. 1-0 Bourne lead in top 2, and 1-2 with 1 away. Tom Zach kicks and delivers to the backstop. And this bottom of the order, you get Tristan Becerra on deck, his first swings. This Braves lineup coming around here. The addition of Merrick Houston playing their best baseball on the offensive side of late. Have out-hit teams in their last 3 of 4. Tom Zach kicks and deals. 2-2, way up and outside. It's a full count to Michelle. 4 walks this summer for Michelle on 16 strikeouts. Has the bat in his shoulder, wide stance with 2 strikes. Lifts it up as Tom Zach fires from the windup. And fouled out of play behind home plate as Michelle fights.
Something we just haven't seen a whole lot from Garrett Michelle. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of swings and misses early in counts. And you mentioned those 4 walks. We haven't seen him just work a lot of counts and get on base with the free pass this year.
Looking to do it right here with 1 down. 3-2. Michelle, a deep drive to left field. Dumanel back at the track, into the trees. It's out of here. He hit 7 last summer on the Cape, number 1 here in 2024, and gives the Braves a 2-0 lead here in top 2.
And can we talk about it all the time, how much power Michelle has to the opposite field. 5 of his 7 home runs last summer went to left center. This one straight away left into the trees, and it gives the Bravos a 2-0 lead.
And there's that 16-mile-per-hour winds helping out Michelle. Goes down the line, over the head of Dumanel, and over the fence. And Bourne their 3rd hit, their 2nd run. And a strong job for Michelle to work himself out of this slump. Brings up Tristan Becerra. His first swings in a Braves uniform this summer. The left-handed hitter out of Clemson. Tom Zach first pitch. Down Broadway. Becerra hit .298 this spring for the Tigers. 42 hits on 34 RBIs. Won the team's most improved player this past spring. Tom Zach 0-1. Above the letters, it's 1-1. But Michelle seen an up and outside 3-2 pitch going with it. That's such an adjustment for a guy that just hit his 7th hit of the summer.
95 miles an hour off the bat, 364 feet to the opposite field.
As the 1-1 a called strike, it's 1-2. What a shot there from Michelle. As the Braves looking to snap a losing streak after the loss 2 nights back against YD. Looking for win number 8. Tom Zach, 1-2 breaker. Low and in on a good frame from Helfrich, even at 2s.
Also a 29-degree launch angle on that. That stayed pretty low to the ground for Michelle and just kept carrying with that wind here tonight.
Tom Zach looking to not lose the hitter here in Becerra, but now he does on a full count. Just missed low and inside on the off speed at 81. So back-to-back 3-2 holes. Michelle fouled off a pitch that went yard. First AB this summer for Becerra on the Cape. 3-2. Pops it up behind home plate. High in the air. Helfrich over. May have some room, and he did, but lost track of it towards the Brewster on deck circle on the backhand. So Becerra will stay alive.
It's always tricky with the wind. You know, you're running towards the fence as a catcher. You have all the oohs and ahs from the crowd right in front of your face, and you got to kind of try and track it as the clouds start to roll in as well. Just a lot of things not working in Helfrich's favor right there.
So another 7-pitch AB. 3-2 to Becerra, swing and a miss. Out in front, back to the breaker was Tomczak, his second punch out, and there's 2 down. Clay Grady, another Hokie, just like Garrett Michelle comes to the plate here. He's batted 1 on 8 consecutive nights for the Bravos, now in the 9th spot with the return of Merrick Houston. Scott Landers looking to flip this order as the second leadoff hitter for Grady. Tomczak from the windup, first pitch, heater, a called strike on the outer half. Grady hitting .205 with 4 RBIs. Only 4 strikeouts on 10 walks. He's gotten on base at a high clip. 0-1 is way above his head. And 7 stolen bases for Grady as the Braves lead in that category this summer. Same spot last summer where they were able to really come through in that category. 1-1. Up and outside, just clips. Grady does not like it. And Tomczak 1 strike away from getting through the top of the second. Michelle with the solo shot, a 2-0 Braves lead. Nobody on, 1-2, 2 away. Tomczak kicks and delivers, and Grady just fouls it in the box. And Nathan, he snapped a 7-game on-base streak last night. Not the big reason why he's moved to this 9 spot, or 2 nights ago, I should say, but now can turn over this order with some speed, and Merrick Houston with the 11 walks on deck. 1-2, and Grady just fouling off an upstairs breaker.
And it was the walks that really have helped out Grady recently in the box. He was getting consistent hits in that on-base streak too, but it was the walks that really impressed me. He was getting multiple walks pretty much night in and night out.
1-2 once again, breaking ball low and outside, and Grady went around, says Scott Hart. Third punch out, second of the inning for Tomczak, and he gets through the top half of the second, but not after Garrett Michelle. His first big fly here in 2024, a solo blast, and Bourne after 1.5. A 2-0 lead over Brewster.
Need to be seen for a minor illness or injury. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Garrett Michelle sends one over the fence and sends the Braves into the bottom of the second inning with a 2-0 lead over the Whitecaps in game number 21 of the Cape League season. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you on this Wednesday night. Windy but beautiful, always here for some Cape League baseball. And it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9 here in this Brewster order. Brody Donay, J.D. Rogers, and Drew Farreau. Bo Bryan's back on the bump. That wind blowing out at 16 miles per hour. Michelle hit 7 home runs last summer. Gets number 1 here in 2024. The 6'7" Donay, rising junior at the University of Florida, steps in the righty's batter's box. And Bryan's the lefty, kicks and fires for a called strike. 11th game here for Donay with Brewster. 205 hitter with 2 home runs. As the bat in his shoulder as Bryan's from the stretch. 0-1 misses low. Donay was with Hyannis in the West Division last summer, hitting .229 with 4 home runs. Was at Virginia Tech a year back, and now with the Gators. Bryan's a deep breath. 1-1 fastball. Power on power, and Bryan's wins the battle 1-2. For Donay, just being able to do it all with first base and catcher. Big frame, and the powerful hitter. 12 home runs for the Gators over the spring. Bryan's 1-2, misses low and outside. Has a strikeout so far as Bryan's. Allowed 2 hits in the bottom of the first inning. Stranded first and third for the Whitecaps. Looking for that second punch out. 2-2 heater, up the ladder, swing and a miss. 1 down.
And a great start to the inning for Bo Bryans. Really just attacked Donate right there. Went to the fastball, pitch in and pitch out. Challenged him at the top of the zone there with the 2 strikes. And Bryans has a ton of confidence in that fastball, just as we saw him do last Tuesday against the Red Sox.
And on a breezy night, back in high school, Bo Bryans, his nickname was Breezy. And right now, just being able to deal and bear down after the 2 hits. Gets that first strikeout, blowing it past Donate. Here's the lefty, J.D. Rogers, wide stance, and first pitch is just below his knees. The rising senior at Vanderbilt did not play a lot this spring. 16 games, only 5 hits, but .320 hitter so far here on Cape Cod. Waves the bat, 1-0 comes in, line drive, right field. Smoked it, there was Rogers on an inside breaking ball. And the third hit here for the Whitecaps, as Bourne still in front 2-0. But once again, Brewster, runners on base, and they love to run.
Yeah, and another hard hit ball right there. 103 miles an hour off the bat of J.D. Rogers, who just continues his incredible summer. Came in leading the team in average with .320, at least among qualified players, and keeps it going right there.
And Brewster is such a good mix with righties and lefties in this lineup. Here's the righty out of FSU and Drew Furrow. Playing second base here tonight. Brian's first pitch, slider in the dirt. Furrow through 11 games, hitting .231. Does have 3 doubles. 1 for 4 last night against the Kettleers as Bryans throws over and Rogers slides back safely. But Brewster has got hot at the moment. Have won 2 in a row. Third place in the East Division at 9-11. Top 4 teams make the playoffs on each side. Bryans from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Chin music up and inside. 6 home runs for Furrow this spring. During his freshman season, he was able to have that home run record for a freshman for the Seminoles. 15 bombs. 2-0. Comes in at the belt on a heater from Bryans at 92. Middle infield pitching here for the Braves. That win plays a factor once again. Just a 2-step lead for Rogers. Bryans looks there, and the 2-1. Hack and a miss. That upstairs fastball from Bryans is working at the moment. Got donated chase twice. Furrow right there, now 2-2.
And he's sitting 91, 93 with that fastball.
Picks over once again. Close call as Rogers back safely.
But whether he's 91 or 93, he's been able to locate it top of the zone, bottom of the zone, inside corner, outside corner. He just has a great feel for that pitch tonight.
2-2 with 1 away. A Braves 2-0 lead. Bryans rocks and deals, and it's way up top. It's a full count. Diamez Ross on deck, and then the top of the order with Nick Dumanel to follow. Brewster, the number 4 offense at the moment on the Cape. Bryans looks at first, 2-step lead for Rogers. 3-2, popped up out of play, and Ben Hartle, the catcher, gets a new ball to Bryans. But that wind here, we saw it from Michelle. It's just blowing in that dust from the infield, as Nathan and I can see. It's going to play a factor for these hitters. Good swings that are high in the air are going to get a lot of distance. Bryans sets, glove at his chest. Looking to put away Furrow. 3-2. It's jammed and it's foul down the first base line. Third meeting between these two squads. Brewster has taken the first 2. One here at Stony Brook Field back on the 16th of June, and the last one at Dorn Park. Out of a 4-game set, and Brewster could either win or tie this series against the Braves as Bryans throws over once again. Nothing going with Rogers.
And the goal here for Bourne is to definitely take these last 2 against Brewster. You never want to be down in a series, even though it is against an East opponent.
3-2, swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Bryans, 90 on the fastball at the letters. Furrow goes chasing just like Donay, and there's 2 down.
And that says a lot about the fastball. Pretty much dead red middle right there for Bo Bryans, throwing on the left side, but he's got so much heat on that fastball right now, and he's able to just blow it past these hitters, and that gives way to Diamez Ross from UCF.
Ross steps in here, playing center field tonight. The lefty hitter with the red bat. First pitch, just up and inside, says Scott Hart. 240 hitters so far this summer through 9 games. Only has struck out 7 times on 4 walks. Turns over this order for the Brewster Whitecaps like Grady for Bourne. 1-0. And 91 heater just out of the zone. Last time out in the 7th against Orleans, Ross went 0 for 2, also batted 9th. Normal depth here for the Bourne defense as Bryan shakes off the first sign. Now sets and delivers. 2-0, low and out, gets past Hartle. All the way to the backstop. Rodgers advances. And Brewster, a runner in scoring position here with 2 down in bottom 2.
And now you think Ross takes here on 3-0, tries and works the walk and get the lineup back up to Dumanel, who's already had a hard hit ball off of Bryan's tonight.
3-0 count, and Braves 2-0 lead here in bottom 2. And 2 away as Bryan's delivers. Fastball right down the middle. So Ross had that take, now ready to swing. As the Whitecaps looking to answer, as Bourne has had a run in each of their first 2 innings. Bryan's looks at second. 3-1, fastball low and out. Ross flips the bat, heads to first. So first and second for the Whitecaps. Top of their order now in Nick Dumanel.
And Dumanel, very dangerous hitter in this spot for Brewster. We talked about the 6-game hitting streak that he now has. Already now 3 hits this summer against Bourne. His average over 300. Came in tied for the team lead with 20 hits. Somebody that's pretty much contact or strikeout. A lot of that mix for Nick Dumanel in the box.
1 for 1 so far as the righty. Sees the first pitch fastball on the inner half. Had a 2 for 4 performance last night against the Kettleers with an RBI single. As we alluded to, a solo homer the last time these teams faced off. That was at Dorn Park. Bryan's looks at second at Rodgers. 1-0 pitch and hit foul in the box off of Dumanel. He'll take a second here before the 1-1. But this Brewster squad, 3-1 in their last 4 games. Every single win has been by 1 run. They have played some very close baseball. They have pitched a lot better of late. A team at the moment that's 10th in ERA on the Cape. That's kind of a extended look at them. But these last 4 games, so much better. Bryan's looks at second. First and second for the Caps. 1-1 pitch and a big golf swing from Dumanel. It's 1-2.
And it hasn't been just the fastball. That slider has played really well so far for Bo Bryan's this evening. And he's been able to keep it low, anywhere from 83 to 85.
Dumanel widens the stance. RBI chance for the Caps, down by 2. 1-2 pitch. Chopper up the middle. Houston at shortstop. Gloves it at his chest. High arcing throw to first. Michelle with the stretch, and it's in time. Bottom 2 in the books, and the second inning in the books here from Stony Brook Field. 1 hit, 2 base runners, and no runs for the Caps. And the Braves, a 2-0 lead after 2 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
We welcome you on back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network here on this Wednesday night for game number 21 of the Cape League season from Stony Brook Field. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Glad you could join us. And the top of the Braves order, Merrick Houston, Cam Kojal, and Ethan Conrad as Bourne an early 2-0 lead. And Nathan, it's the first time this season during this 8-game stretch that Bourne has not trailed first.
Yeah, and it's absolutely going to be crucial for them in this back half of the season to get a lot more of these early leads. They've been able to have a contagious approach while hitting, as of late, a lot of big innings, a lot of power boosts as well. We saw the Michelle home run in that second inning, and you almost feel like this is just the start, the tip of the iceberg for this Bourne offense and what they can do.
What they can bring to the table, and we also mentioned the Braves have had more hits than their opponents in 3 of the last 4 games, coming off a 8-2 loss over YD that went 8 innings due to fog. First time there's been a fog out due to conclusion at Dorn Park. As Ryder Helfrich, the catcher on the Brewster side, gets his pitch comm and the straps and everything set to get behind the plate for Seth Tomczak. So far for him, Nathan, we saw just the 3 hits, one being the long ball, but he's been able to bear down after that home run, the 3 strikeouts here to begin.
Yeah, he's been hit hard. The one Kojal had up the middle, then Braden Holcomb, 95 off the bat down the right field line, and Michelle, deep blast through the wind.
Well, here's Merrick Houston, top of the Braves order. First pitch to the righty is a breaking ball in there for a strike. One of the 3 strikeouts was to Houston. That began this game on a 3-2 count. The 0-1 to the Demon Deacon. That's one is low in the dirt. We saw those 11 walks in the first 8 games for Houston on 9 hits. As returned here to Bourne from Team USA. Tomczak's 1-1, right down the middle on a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Looking for his first out here in the top of the 3rd. Rocks and deals from the windup, and it's way up top. Bourne has yet to get a leadoff base runner on the 2 half innings where they have scored runs. Houston and Ben Hartle have been the 2 to lead off. 2-2 pitch, ground ball left side. Kent picks it up on the backhand, fires across the diamond, and a hard throw gets Houston by a step for out number 1.
Caden Kent able to shoot a good glove right there. Played a lot more down the stretch for Texas A&M on their run to the national championship with the injury to Braden Montgomery now in full swing here on the Cape.
Good play there from Kent. Chatham last summer, now here with the Whitecaps. Here's the lefty in Cam Kojal. Pops up the first pitch down the line in left. It's hooking foul. Will it stay fair? It will down the line. Kojal blooped it into foul territory, thrown to second base, and Kojal's in there safely. Into the Bermuda Triangle down the line in left field. Nobody could get it, and Kojal placed it perfectly for a 1-out double.
And the best thing about it was the base running right there from Cam Kojal. No hesitation. He was thinking 2 out of the box. He saw that Fisher and the shortstop and Kent were heading over to the line. He knew that it was going to be a long run for Dumanel, who's playing pretty far back as well. And Kojal wasted no time, head straight for second base. The throw actually beats him there, but a good slide. He's able to evade the tag and put a 1-out base runner in scoring position for the Bravos.
And after his 0 for 2 nights ago, 2 for 2 here to begin. RBI chance for the lefty Ethan Conrad. From the stretch is Tomczak. First pitch fastball, ground ball right side. Take a weird hop. Thoreau gets it on the backhand above his head and throws to first for the 2nd out. So second time Conrad grounds out to the right side, but advances Kojal 90 feet once again. So a similar inning here. Can Braden Holcomb hit another double, and you have almost an identical first inning.
And it starts with Cam Kojal. We talked about how his season has kind of taken a turn, a lot more power. He actually just took the Cape lead in doubles. He was tied with Bobby Bozer of Wareham and Michael Detallo of Hyannis, Easton Carmichael of YD at the top of the Cape in doubles. And now he stands just 90 feet away in what could be the 3rd run of the day for Bourne.
The righty and Holcomb. First pitch swinging. This one into left field and off the glove of Kent at shortstop. Kojal scores, and pretty much an identical top of the 1st inning. Kojal gets on. Conrad moves him over. Holcomb drives in Kojal, and the Braves a 3-0 lead.
In that 1st inning, it was Kojal with the single, Holcomb with the double. They flip it here. Kojal gets that hustle double on that bloop down left side, and Braden Holcomb, an absolute laser off the bat, 104. A 1-hop off the glove of Kent at short to bring home the 3rd run.
And what is crazy, too, is Holcomb was first pitch swinging both times. One down the right field line, and that scorcher to Kent at shortstop. Here's Chris Stanfield with 2 down, and Holcomb off first base. Stanfield shows bunt. Holcomb going. Helfrich the throw. It's a strike, and Holcomb is out. So the top of the 3rd ends like that as Helfrich, a dart to Caden Kent at shortstop, and that ends the threat here for the Braves. But Bourne has scored a run in every single of half innings here to begin. And after 2.5 from Stony Brook Field, Bourne 3, Brewster nothing on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
We head to the bottom of the third inning here from Stony Brook Field. Bourne with a one spot in the first, second, and third, and a 3-0 lead over the Whitecaps here in game number 21 of the Cape League season. Bo Bryans looks towards center field, back on the bump here for his third inning of work. And 2-3-4 for Brewster. Caden Kent, the lefty, steps in for an early lefty on lefty. Bryans has been fantastic so far, 3 strikeouts. The lefty from the stretch. First pitch, it's a slider low and inside. But second start here for Bo Bryans. We saw a big one back in the second against YD, the top team in the East. Went 5 innings and was able to do it for the Braves in a 3-2 win. His 1-0. Kent lines it, right field. It's in front of Conrad, and it's a single. So for the second time this game, Brewster, a leadoff base runner. First hit here tonight for Caden Kent.
Such a pure swing from Caden Kent right there, doing exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter and continuing this trend of Brewster hitting the ball hard. That one 87 off the bat of Kent to start this inning.
Really good swing. And once again, Bryans, when he's been hit hard, has missed a little bit middle in to lefties. Here's the righty and the catcher and Ryder Helfrich. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Bends the knees. First pitch from Bryans. Fastball at the belt. 4 hits for Brewster on no runs. That's the first one for Kent. 8th game, came in batting .414. He has a 2-step lead off first. Bryans looks, 0-1 to Helfrich, low and inside. The Whitecaps came in hitting .251, 4th in the Cape, and second in slugging, just below .400. Riding a 2-game win streak, but down here early at home. Bryans glove at his chest, long look at first, 1-1 pitch, chopped in the box, and off the bat for a second time of Helfrich, makes it 1-2.
And there we see the changeup from Bo Bryans. That's the 3-pitch mix. Didn't get a chance to talk about it earlier, but it is the fastball, the 4-seamer, the slider, which we've seen down and in, and he's mixing in the changeup now a little bit here later on in the outing.
And we've seen that fastball with 2 strikes elevated as the put-away pitch. Picks over before the 1-2. Kent is back. Bryans has been very wary and concerned with the runners at first base for good reason for what Brewster wants to do. No one has gone just yet with Ben Hartle behind the plate. 3-step lead for Kent. Michelle holding him on. Not going. 1-2 pitch, just low and in at 91.
A really good spot right there from Bo Bryans, 92, just trying to paint that bottom half of the strike zone. Just missed, but still in a good spot with the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And nobody away with a runner on. Here's that 2-2, and it's grounded above the Brewster dugout, bounces into it as Helfrich battling here after that strikeout to begin in the first. Solid attendance here from Stony Brook Field for a Wednesday night showdown. 2022 championship rematch between Brewster and Bourne. Bryans sets. Long look in, and another 2-2 delivery. It's a slider low and out. So a full count here as Bryans not looking to lose Helfrich. Will be the first time that Bryans has put back-to-back base runners on for Brewster. Andrew Fisher waits on deck. Kent bouncing around. Not going. 3-2 pitch. Line drive at Holcomb. He made the catch. Look out, Braden Holcomb. It's the hot corner for a reason. makes the catch. 103 off the bat from Helfrich for the first out of the inning.
My goodness, Brewster all over Bo Bryant's tonight. They've had a couple of land, but, man, Braden Holcomb, what a game he's having so far. The 2 RBI hits, he's ready for it over at third base. I mean, that's not even his primary position. He can play anywhere in the field, but showing why he's going to be such a valuable utility guy in the SEC.
That reaction time is unbelievable. 103 to his backhand to make the play. Here's the lefty and Andrew Fisher. He's 1 for 1. First pitch heater, it's low and inside. Fisher just recently left and then transferred to Tennessee, the national champs. Stays in the SEC. Was second-team All-Conference for Ole Miss this past spring. Bryans picks over. Back is Kent. But not the first time that Fisher has transferred. Started at Duke, then to Ole Miss, now at Tennessee. Has made that jump and kind of has made a jump to better and better programs. Now you go to the national champs. There's not much better than that.
No, and a Tennessee team that pretty much has to replace their entire infield. So Fisher going to get a chance to start immediately.
Here's the 1-0 to him. Hartle comes out of his stance. It's 2-0.
And they've got 2 or 3 guys that are probably going to go in the first round on Sunday night in the MLB draft. And Fisher, a guy that's probably going to go in the first round of next year's draft.
Hitting .241 so far. Came in hitting that at 17 games. Finally comes back to this Brewster squad at the right time for their offense as Bryans steps off here. 3-0 Bourne lead in bottom 3. 2-0 with 1 away and Kent off first base. The lefty and Bryans fires. A fastball that's driven to left, but right at Becerra. He's going to make the catch. Back to first base is Kent, and there's 2 down. So that ball a little bit caught in the wind, but that wind still going back at the moment. But if you get it almost too high, Michelle's liner over the fence and left, that line drive, but this one just straight up and got caught up there for Becerra.
And just 2 or 3 degrees in the launch angle, that can be the difference, right? Michelle's was only about 28.5. That one 31.5. Just that 3-degree difference, a big reason why that's not a 2-run homer right there for Andrew Fisher.
Here's the righty Danny Cuvée. He sees a first pitch ball. Cuvée had a smoking hard line out in the first inning, right at Stanfield in the first pitch. Goes back to that point of how hard Bryans has been hit, but no runs on 4 hits here. 1-0. Cuvée dances out of the way. It's 2-0. And last night, as we alluded to, 454 feet from Cuvée, going 1 for 4, and that was the difference in the 4-3 win. Kent still off first base, 2-0, and almost clips Cuvée. It's a 3-0 count. So far for Brewster, they've had the leadoff base runner on in the first and third, but every inning they've had a 2-out base runner. We'll see if Cuvée can keep it going. Bryans, 3-0. Hard grounder foul down the line. But Bo Bryants, if you can give the Braves here, you get through this third inning, you keep yourselves in front. This is what Bourne wants to do, and Bo Bryants is now giving the Braves some life here in that starting pitching role. 3-1 with 2 away. The high leg kick, the pitch, fastball up the ladder, a swing and a miss from Cuvée. And just like that, it's 3-2.
And even though you want Bryans to give you life, this is a very well-rested Bourne bullpen. They use Nolan Sparks in long relief on Monday. He's no longer with the team. You use LeGurnick for a third of an inning, West for 2/3 of an inning, and then you have the off day yesterday.
Bryans, payoff pitch, swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Bo Bryants. On a windy afternoon, Breezy is dealing, and the Braves a 3-0 lead after 3 from Stony Brook Field. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Already game number 21 of the Cape League season, and we're back here at Stony Brook Field on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network, alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you, Adam Gotkin with us shortly. Thanks so much for joining us, and Bourne is thinking themselves so far. A 3-0 lead as we enter the top of the fourth inning. They've had a run in every single half inning so far. 1-2-3 with a run, and one a solo shot from Garrett Michelle in the second. 5-6-7 for the Braves. Here's the righty out of LSU and Chris Stanfield. Digs his white cleats into the box, and Tom Zach from the windup. First pitch in there for a strike. Stanfield's 0 for 1. A ground out that ended that first inning threat. Braden Holcomb so far in that 4 spot has 2 RBIs as Stanfield clubs one left field and deep. Dumanel back at the warning track. He tries to rob it. He cannot. Chris Stanfield bombs away. His second home run of the summer. And the Braves clubbing some baseballs early. It's 4-0 here in the top of the fourth.
And now both for Stanfield have come to lead off an inning. It was the 5th inning last Monday at Hyannis. And now, once again, Stanfield showing off that power that we haven't seen a whole lot of this summer, but it's come in some pretty good spots.
Big swing there from Stanfield. We talked about the strikeouts and then moving all around the order. 5th spot for the first time and goes yard to left field with the wind blowing out. Here's Ben Hartle looking to keep it going here early. First pitch from the righty, Tom Zach, is low on the breaking ball. Hartle's 0 for 1, a ground out to first in the second inning. Coming off a 2 RBI game, 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. 1-0. Hartle, a scorcher at shortstop, picked up from Caden Kent at his right foot, throws to first, and it's in time. Strong start for Caden Kent at shortstop, what he brings to the table with his bat, but some nice plays commanding the infield.
Yeah, and he's going to have a really good opportunity coming up in his junior year with Texas A&M to really just break through. Of course, he's following in his dad's footsteps. Of course, Jeff Kent, who played 19 years of Major League Baseball, won an MVP, and now his son doing it in the SEC.
As Garrett Michelle steps in, sees a first pitch strike. Kennett Chatham last summer, stays in the East here with the Whitecaps. 0-1 from Tom Zach to Michelle. Up and outside, they check down. And Marty Hasenhus says he did not go around. Michelle had that solo home run in the second inning. That one also to left field for the lefty. Opposite way on a 3-2 up and outside fastball. Tom Zach rocks and deals. 1-1. Fastball driven. Same spot down the line in left. Dumanel can't make the diving catch, and it bounces over the wall. So Michelle, 2 for 2, same spot, smoking it down the line. This one a 1-out double for the Bravos. And Nick Dumanel also diving out too.
And how about this for Garrett Michelle? 6 hits coming into the game. Only 1 extra base hit. That was a double down the right field line. He goes to the opposite field for 2 extra base hits here in his first 2 at-bats against Brewster.
And that one, the same spot it was pitched from Tom Zach. That's an up and outside fastball. Michelle going the other way. Had 5 home runs last summer that went the opposite way for his 7 total. Here's Tristan Becerra, another lefty here for the Braves. Second swings on his summer, just coming to the Braves roster, and sees a fastball down Main Street. Most improved player for Clemson in the ACC. Just hit under 300 at 298 this spring. And has an RBI chance. 4-0 Bravos in top 4. Michelle, a 2-step leadoff second. Tom Zach looks, delivers. And the heater is up and outside.
And for a team that comes in bottom half in the Cape in doubles, last in home runs, they've clubbed 5 extra base hits here tonight. 2 homers, 3 doubles.
Has to turn somewhere. Bourne had 4 homers coming into tonight. 1-1 with 1 away. The righty from the stretch. And the pitch is fouled out of play down the third base line.
We talked about what can this Bourne offense do? Is this what we're going to see the rest of the year, or is this just the tip of the iceberg? And I think this is proving there is a whole lot of untapped potential in this Bourne lineup right now.
And lacing Tomczak here, who came in with 12 strikeouts, no walks. His last start was a quality one on the 4th, with only 3 earned runs. Once Becerra here on the 1-2. High leg kick, a breaking ball bounces. Blocked from Helfrich, though, so Michelle stays at second base. But Cam Koljal in the 2 spot, he's 2 for 2. Holcomb's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Stanfield's gone yard, Michelle has gone yard. Those are some guys that have stayed hot, but now Stanfield and Michelle getting their swing, which is such a big part for the Braves, the 2 returners. 2-2 with 1 down. Tomczak, first base side of the rubber, glove at his belt. Pitch to Becerra. Becerra lines it right at second base, making the catch is Farrow. Flip to second. Kent is there. It's a double play. 4-6 line-out double play to end the inning. So Bourne now, 4 half innings, 4 runs, 1 in each. But once again, it's the long ball. Chris Stanfield, for the second time this summer, leaves the yard. And after 3.5, the Braves 4, Brewster nothing here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
We're back here from Stony Brook Field on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Thanks so much for joining us alongside my partner Nathan Schwartz. Cam Manna with you. And Nathan said last inning. So Bourne comes in. They're in the 9th spot in doubles. They're 10th in home runs. But Bourne so far, extra base hits, 2 bombs on a 4-0 lead as we enter bottom 4.
Yeah, and the power just hasn't been there for this Bourne team. Just 28 extra base hits coming into the night. But 5 out of their 7 hits tonight have been extra bases. They've scored in every inning. But they got to continue to fight against this Brewster lineup that could respond at any point.
It's Brody Donay. First pitch to the 6-7 righty is low in the dirt. As Bo Bryan's back on the bump here for his 4th inning of work. 4 hits so far on 4 strikeouts for the lefty transferring to Alabama. Sets from the third base side of the rubber. And here's the 1-0 pitch as Donay pops it in the air first base side. Michelle over, has some room, backpedals, and makes the catch. 2 hits for Michelle, 1 a long ball, and a nice play in foul territory for out number 1.
And everybody flashing the leather, also hitting smokes off the bat tonight. And it was Holcomb making a nice defensive play. He has 2 RBI hits tonight. Michelle with the double, with the homer, and making a nice play on the back pedal in foul territory.
Brings up J.D. Rogers. But Bo Bryan's right now mowing down hitters. The hits have been there, and he's been hit hard, but being able to surrender base runners, 1st and 3rd in the 1st, 1st and 2nd in the 2nd, and only 1 runner on in the 3rd. Rogers the wide lefty stance, lefty on lefty, as a fastball spiked on the plate. The senior out of Vanderbilt is 1 for 1. Reached to second on a wild pitch in that 2nd inning. The Whitecaps at 4th offense, down here early. Bryan's a deep breath, kicks and fires, and that fastball low once again. He's missed up on that spot, but now in the inning here missing low as that wind continues to pick up on this Wednesday night. Sun, though, peeking out. Bryan's a deep breath. 2-0, outside 3-0. But this Whitecaps squad has not been down like this throughout their last 4 games. 3-1 in their last 4. All their wins have been by 1 run. So you wonder how this offense comes back, how they respond on a 2-game win streak. Bryan's looking to work back. 3-0 pitch, right down the middle.
And on Friday, they were hosting Falmouth. We're down 6-0 going into the latter stages of that game. Scored 7 unanswered and wound up winning that game due to darkness.
And coming off that 4-3 win over the Kettleers. 3-1. Called strike. And it's a full count. 2 walks this summer for Rogers on 3 strikeouts. So doesn't strike out a lot, doesn't walk a lot, doesn't get into these long counts. Widens the stance, chokes up, 3-2 with 1 away. A Bourne 4-0 lead here in bottom 4. Bryan's the pitch, line drive down the line and foul. As Marty Hassenfuss, the third base umpire, kind of backpedaling and ducking his head. Almost saying to himself, oh my God, right at him. He's laughing a little bit, but that one right towards him just had to duck out of the way at the last second.
And still got to show off the agility down there on the third base umpire side of things. But he's going to go right back to work, reset the pitch clock, and file back into the pitch.
Bryans looks in for Hartle for the sign. Now sets from the stretch. 3-2, Shopper up the middle. Houston Chargers gets it on a hop, sidearm throw to first, in time for out number 2. And this is now the first time to begin an inning that Bo Bryans has put the first 2 hitters down, looking for his first 1-2-3, Nathan.
And he's retired 5 in a row as well, dating back to that Caden Kent single to lead off the 3rd inning. He's really just keeping the ball low in the zone, using all 3 pitches really well, and keeping these Brewster hitters off balance even though they're making contact.
Drew Farrow's 0 for 1, 8 spot in this order for the Whitecaps. The righty waves the bat. First pitch, and he lines it foul down the line. 3rd meeting between these 2 squads. As we mentioned, Brewster leads the season series of 4 games, 2-0. The Whitecaps 3rd in the East at 9-11. Bourne 7-11-2, 4th in the West. Both sides desperately needing wins second half of this Cape League season. Bryans 0-1 and bounces off the glove of Hartle. Inside of the backstop, he'll reset. But Farrow, 286 hitter this spring for Florida State. 6 home runs, going 1 for 4 last night with 2 strikeouts. 1-1 from Bryans. Good frame from Hartle, just a fastball at 92 off the mark. Brewster's hit the ball hard, but Bryans, this 1-2-3 would be crucial. Best rhythm he's been in. 2-1, swing and a miss. Upstairs fastball at 91. It's a 2-2 count.
And even though now he's over 70 pitches, this will be number 72 right here. You're right, Cam. He's not turning away. He's still firing in those fastballs where he can challenge him.
His 2-2 is a fastball, but it's low, so it's a full count. 5th full count of the game that Bryans has been in. This one a payoff pitch with nobody on in bottom 4. Bourne in front, 4-0. The lefty. Sidearm pitch, fastball just inside. So not the 1-2-3, and the 4th straight inning that Brewster with a 2-out base runner. It's Farrow to first, Diamez Ross, the lefty, in the box here with 2 down.
And we've seen the control there for Bryans tonight, even though he now issues a second walk. He's getting out in front of these hitters. He's inducing contact, and now he gets to get a repeat matchup against the guy he walked the first time around in Diamez Ross.
The center fielder out of UCF. First pitch fastball, up and out. Good spot from Bryans. It's 0-1. Would also be the first inning that Brewster has not had a hit. And Bryans could put down Ross right here. Ross in the box, 0-1 from Bryans. It's fouled back, quickly 0-2. And even with Brewster right now, they've had the base runners not running at the moment, and that's a big part of their game plan.
And you wonder, is it something with Hartle behind the plate, or are they just worried about the left-hander on the mound with the pickoff move? They're not trying to get too aggressive down by 4.
0-2 with 2 down. The pitch is line foul down the third base line. Big part of it could be the lefty and Bryans, but big stat coming into that YD game on the second. This season at college for Bryans, 100% success steal rate. But Brewster at the moment not deciding to run. They do have Farrow off first base. He's not going. 0-2, grounded down the line. Holcomb on the backhand, sets his feet in foul territory. The long throw, Braden Holcomb. What a start here tonight. 2 fantastic plays at third. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, and he ends the bottom half of the 4th inning. Bourne in front, 4-0 after 4 here from Stony Brook Field. Top 5 coming up on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
It's been all Braves here to begin. 4-0 at Stony Brook Field, and we enter the top of the 5th inning. And Adam Gotkin once again with us with some Bourne Braves alum in the major leagues.
Well, starting off, one of the younger Bravos alums in the majors, Gordon Graceffo, makes his first ever start in Major League Baseball tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals against the Royals. Again, that's the back half of a doubleheader where the Royals won Game 1 6-4. Also, 2015 Brave Keegan Aiken went 2 innings last night for the Orioles against the Cubs. He struck out 4, did give up 1 run. 2014 Brave Harrison Bader had an excellent night last night for the Mets against the Nationals, going 3 for 4 and scoring 2 runs. And Tyler Fitzgerald, who played for the Bravos in both 2017 and 2018, hit a home run for the San Francisco Giants last night against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, thank you so much, Adam. And the Cape League, the alum that the Braves had. And when Adam talked to Tristan Becerra making his first appearance for the Braves, he ended that 4th inning, but he said he's so excited to be here on the Cape. The competition kicks up, the scouts in attendance, the eyes watching this type of baseball. That's a big deal for a lot of these players looking to make their next step, the stars of tomorrow. 9-1-2 for the Braves. Here's the righty Clay Grady. Sees a first pitch ball for Seth Tomczak back on the bump here for his 5th inning of work. Grady's 0 for 1, struck out one of the 4 strikeouts, or 3, from Tomczak. Now it's a 1-1 count. Grady, first time he's been back in the 9 spot in the last 8 games. Waves the bat, Tomczak from the windup. 2-0 pitch, ground ball. Kent is there, bobbles, now corrals, throws to first, and it's in time. Count said 1-1, moved to 2-0 before the pitch, so Grady first pitch swinging, and that's the first out here in top 5.
Now batting, the shortstop from Whitecaps.
And another hard hit for Bourne. Now we've gone 2 times through the order now. A lot of hard hits, 4 runs on 7 hits. Now you go back to the top and Merrick Houston, who's still looking for his first hit in his return to the Bravos.
The righty, the Demon Deacon, steps in. First pitch fastball low and out. Had a hard ground out to short in the 3rd inning. Strikeout in the 1st. As Nathan mentioned from Team USA, looking to get going back on the Cape. 1-0 is above his letters. 7 hits for the Braves, 2 long balls, a run in every single inning so far. Houston stands tall. Tomczak rocks and deals. 2-0 breaker at the belt, 2-1. But Bourne has 2 hitters so far, 2 for 2. Kojal and Holcomb, and Michelle and Stanfield with the long balls. 2-1. Houston bloops it left field, but moving back there is Kent, the shortstop, makes the catch for out number 2. Would be the first time that Bourne goes down 1-2-3 and does not score a run or get a hit in an inning here, and it comes down to Cam Kojal.
Yeah, and it is the first time tonight where they haven't had a base runner within the first 2 batters of the inning. You had the Kojal single in the 1st, the homer by Michelle in the 2nd, double by Kojal in the 3rd, and then Stanfield led off the 4th with that homer.
Here is Cam Kojal. First pitch off speed is below his knees. Singled and scored in the 1st, doubled and scored in the 3rd. Led off, or both were with 1 out, And Kojal has been driven in from his former teammate in Braden Holcomb. 1-0, back to the off speed, this one in the zone. That double from Kojal was blooped down the left field line. It just blooped fair, placed it where nobody could touch it. Tomczak, a deep breath from the windup. Fires the 1-1, back to a breaking ball. Grounded at second base and bounces over the head of Farrow. That infield monster. Second time that Farrow's gotten a ground ball that's been weirdly hopped. That time, nothing he could do about it. Over his head. 8th hit for the Braves, not off the glove of Farrow. So Kojal is now 3 for 3 here tonight in what has been his best performance of the summer.
Yeah, he's really starting to figure things out at the plate for this Bourne team. He comes in 11 hits and 53 at-bats, 208 average. But if you put the ball in play, good things are happening, and he's hitting the ball hard.
Well, here's the lefty and Ethan Conrad with 2 down. Sees the first pitch strike. He's 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs right at second base to Farrow. See if the Braves can muster some runs here with 2 outs. Kozel off first base. 0-1 to Conrad. Check swing on the upstairs fastball. They check down. He did not go around, says Glenn Stort, the first base umpire. Conrad with those new batting gloves. It's that pink, white, and teal blue. Kind of that hot pink from Conrad. Bat on his shoulder, now stands tall. Tom Zach back to the stretch. 1-1. Fastball's a good spot, just dips low. Hitters count here to the lefty.
And first time we haven't seen him use the Wake Forest colored batting gloves. Bruce Bolt brand. Just trying to switch things up.
Really nice batting gloves. He said that makes him feel good. We'll see if it translates here. 2-1. Conrad fouls a pitch in the box. That would have been low in the zone, so it makes it a 2-2 count. So Tom Zach still in this game, looking to get through 5 innings on only allowing 4 runs, what could be a lot worse at times as the Braves have had runners in scoring position. But they have been able to convert every single half inning so far. Runner on, 2-2, 2 away. Tom Zach picks over, Kozel back safely. Only 1 over 4 performance this summer for Conrad, coming off a 1 for 3 with an RBI ground down. Tom Zach looks at first, now sets from the stretch. 2-2, Kozel going. Conrad, ground ball into left field past Kent, who was covering the bag. Kozel steps on second, heads to third base. Folks, if you want to do a hit and run perfectly, that is it right there for a lefty and Conrad. Slaps it past Kent at shortstop, and Bourne now with first and third with 2 down.
And, usually you try to hit it behind the runner. For a lefty, you want to hit it to right field, but it works out perfectly for Bourne right there because you have Kent going to cover the bag because it's a left-handed hitter in the batter's box, and he hits it right at shortstop on the ground, sneaks through into the outfield for Conrad's first base hit tonight.
And Coach Chev for Brewster talking to his arm here and Seth Tom Zach. Brewster does have an arm loose and ready out of their bullpen. And Braden Holcomb in the box here, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 1 a double, 1 a single. And what a start would be for him. He's made 2 fantastic plays in the field, a line drive caught, ground ball that ended bottom 4 in a backhand in foul territory. Him and Cam Kozel have been outstanding here. The former Vanderbilt teammates as Kozel in the transfer portal, as Seth Tom Zach will stick with himself here on the mound, looking to get through this top of the 5th inning.
And we've seen Holcomb be aggressive on first pitches here tonight. Both of the first pitch he saw, RBI double down the right field line in the first, and he hits that extremely hard one-hop just past the glove of Caden Kent in the 3rd inning to drive in Kozel. And now once again, Kozel in scoring position. He's even got Conrad at first base with 2 away.
Can Holcomb come up big here for the Braves and extend this 4-0 lead in top 5? Has been first pitch swinging, as Nathan alluded to. Tom Zach sets. First pitch to Holcomb, swing and a miss. No snap throw to third as Conrad was going. So it's 2nd and 3rd now. Braves first stolen base of the night. They're now 1 for 2 in that category. Helfrich gunned out a runner. That was Holcomb back in the 3rd inning. But Conrad now stolen base machine. Top of the Braves, and now he's 1 behind Nick Dumanel with 14. Dumanel with 15. 0-1 count, 2 runners on, pitch to Holcomb. Fastball's in there for a strike, and Tom Zach looking to put down Holcomb for the first time. Holcomb has not seen this many pitches here tonight. It was 2 pitches coming into the at-bat, now 4 pitches total. 0-2 with 2 away. The pitch, Holcomb chops it at shortstop. Kent charges, the scoop, the sidearm throw. No scoop at first, in front of Done. Kozel scores, Conrad scores. So Holcomb on base for the 3rd time, brings in 2 runs, and the Braves a 6-0 lead here in the top of the 5th inning.
And that was always going to be a tough play for Caden Kent. Really impressive that he was able to read the hop there and just get a glove on it. But then, he tries to make that throw to first. It skips Done, 6'5", kind of hard to get down and scoop that. And with that being now a double-digit hit, the 10th of the night for Bourne, that's going to pull the plug on Tom Zach.
Holcomb 3 for 3 with now 4 RBIs on his night. And we'll see exactly how they score and if Holcomb gets all the RBIs. And Kozel 3 for 3. Seth Tom Zach, his night is done here in the top of the 5th inning. Bourne with 10 hits, 6 runs. They're in front of Brewster, and a shutout so far from Stony Brook Field.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
The lefty out of Florida State and Jacob Marlowe takes the bump here for Brewster. The third time the Braves will see him this summer in their third appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA, his fourth appearance, so he's really just seen the Braves pretty much this summer.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. He's only been making about one appearance a week. We've talked about it when we've played Brewster previously, but coming off of that open heart surgery, very scary situation he had back in the fall. Didn't play this spring at Florida State, but maybe just some innings limits, just keep monitoring that condition. So only pitching once a week, and just so happens that it's the third time against the Bravos.
He's battled back in the two surgeries, finally playing baseball again, and we've talked about it a lot here on our broadcast because Marlowe has pitched against the Braves and now 4 of his 5 appearances on the Cape as he'll get set to throw his first few pitches. He'll face Chris Stanfield with Holcomb on first base. Holcomb had the 10th hit of the night for the Braves as Bourne in front of Brewster 6-0 here in the top of the 5th inning from Stony Brook Field. Braves came in 9th in doubles, 10th in home runs, 2 home runs here tonight. In the doubles department, we've seen the Braves with 3. And the extra base hits as well will add to that number. So 6 here tonight for Bourne. So it's Holcomb on first base, Stanfield in the box. He's 1 for 2 with a solo home run. That came as a leadoff blast in the 4th inning. Marlowe, the lefty, set. First pitch breaking ball is up and outside at 74. We'll get you the final stat line from Seth Tomczak as when this half inning comes to a close. Holcomb would be a earned run on first base as Marlowe fires the 1-0. Fastball at 86, low and in. It's 2-0. 2 home runs and 8 RBIs now for Stanfield in his summer. Had a 1 for 3 performance 2 nights ago after the off day. 2-0. Stanfield, hard ground ball at third base. Batted from Fisher. He went to a knee and then lost it. So Stanfield to first base on a tough play for Fisher. Holcomb to second. We'll see what they scored here as Fisher did have to go to a knee on a backhand. And it will be Brewster's first error of the night, so an E5, and the Braves still in business.
This Bourne team just continues to put the ball in play, and we're only in the 5th inning, already at double-digit hits. They get 10 off of the starter in Tomczak, and just continue to reap the benefits of seeing the ball through.
Ben Hartle can blow this thing open here against Marlowe. First pitch from the lefty to Hartle, in there for a strike. So 10 hits for the Braves, 1 error for Brewster. First and second, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Hartle an RBI chance. The pitch, he clubs it deep to center field. Wind is taking it. Ross back at the track. He's going to make the catch in front of the wall. Oh, would have been a 9-0 Braves lead in Hartle's first blast, but Ross right there in center field to make the play. After 4.5 here from Stony Brook Field, the Braves 6, Brewster nothing, but Bourne yet again scoring in every single inning. This time their first 2 spot. Bottom 5 coming up.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bottom of the fifth inning here from Stony Brook Field on this Wednesday night, and Bourne in front of Brewster 6-0. At the moment, the third time this summer the Braves have had double-digit hits. My partner Nathan Schwartz going through the scorebook to see, is this the biggest lead into a game like this? And Nathan has something.
Second. You got to go all the way back to opening day when Bourne scored 6 runs in the fourth inning to take a 7-0 lead over the Firebirds, and they pretty much carried that momentum the rest of the way to a 9-4 victory. And so far here tonight, I mean, you could disagree with me, Cam, but I think this is Bourne's best offensive performance of the summer.
Fully agree with you there. And what the Braves were doing, extra base hits, 2 home runs. But here's Bo Bryans back in the bump, top of the order, and Nick Dumanel, and a first pitch ball. Bryans threw 4 innings so far, 4 hits, no runs, and 4 punch-outs for the lefty, transferring to Alabama. Dumanel's 1 for 2, 1-0 to the righty. Fastball just misses at 89. That velocity taking a dip here for Bryans, but entering this fifth inning is big here for the Braves. Went 5 innings in his last appearance on the second against YD. 2-0, comes in, chopper, third base side. Holcomb charges, glove grab, sidearm throw. Braden Holcomb, have a night. 3 fantastic web gems at third. He's 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. And the Vandy utility guy gets out number 1 here in bottom 5.
This is simply remarkable what Braden Holcomb's been doing so far here tonight. And we've seen flashes of it, but the breakthrough for Braden Holcomb just has been inching closer to the surface, and it's finally here. He has the 3 hits, the 4 RBIs, and for a position he hasn't played since high school, given that's only been a year and a half, 2 years now, but just remarkable what he's doing at the hot corner here tonight.
Here's the lefty shortstop in Caden Kent. First pitch heater below his knees. He's also 1 for 2. But Holcomb playing some very stellar third base. As Nathan alluded to, left field, right field, first base for the Bravos. Bryant's from the stretch, 1-0. In there on the outside corner at 89. Kent now a 4-game hit streak, 8th game of his summer. Bat on his shoulder, wide stance, 1-1 pitch. Grounds it right side. Clay Grady backpedals, makes the play at second, throws to Michelle at first for out number 2. And this could be the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for Bo Bryans. And you think when a guy is going to get through 5 with no runs, there would be some 1-2-3s, but there's been hits or walks in every single inning. The 4th inning was the first without a hit, but there was that 2-out walk from Drew Farrell.
And he got hit pretty hard to begin this outing, but he's really settled down, really focused in more on the off-speed. The slider and the changeup have really started to work well for him over the last 2 innings.
Ryder Helfrich steps in with 2 down, the righty out of Arkansas. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. But Bryans, we've seen him mix his pitches well, and it's not the most decisive stuff, but working in such a good rhythm. And as that insurance here from the Braves offense, a run in every inning, and in the 5th, their first 2 spot. Helfrich's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, as Bryans kicks and fires in the 0-1. Off-speed's there on the outside corner, it's 0-2. So in work here for his 5th strikeout and his first 1-2-3. All Bravos here on the road in game number 21 of the Cape League season. Bo Bryans, 0-2, just misses on the lower half. Helfrich steps back in here. That wide stance with 2 strikes for the Arkansas catcher. Bryant from the stretch. 1-2, hard ground ball. Braden Holcomb right there to make the play. Shuffles, throws to first, and it's in time. Bo Bryans, his first 1-2-3 inning of the night, and gets through 5 here at Stony Brook Field, and the Braves in front of the Whitecaps 6-0. And on a night where the offense has been spectacular, 6 runs on 10 hits, we do have a special guest and the right guy to talk to when it comes to offense. It's 2023 Cape League champ Derek Bender. Derek, thanks so much, man.
Dude, this is fun. This is a different view of the field.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Derek last summer, as all the Bourne fans will remember, 374 hitter, 4 bombs, stolen base machine. And first, Derek, we'll talk about being back in the Cape in the Bourne dugout, talking to the guys, seeing Scott Landers. Feels weird, but how is it overall?
It's such a refreshing feeling. I mean, the whole staff, the whole vibe of the team last year was just honestly what made us go so much. We talk about it all the time. Just, you have so much talent up here. It's more about the makeup. And we had so many great players, but also just so many great people. And that, more than anything, just made us go. And it's what's going to really fuel this Bourne team. Like, I've been talking to them for, a couple innings now, and just, I know how Coach Landers works, and his staff is, as prepared as anybody. And I can't wait to see the stretch that they're going to go on, because I know they're going to get hot just with what they do and how they operate, and it's just a matter of time.
For a team right now that's 7-11-2, and last season you guys winning your last 3 into the playoffs, talk about how not unimportant it is until the playoffs, but how getting hot at the right time is so crucial, and what you guys did as the 4 seed turning things around.
Me and Coach Landers were actually just talking about that before the game. I was like, so what's going on? He's like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. 'Cause I remember when I got up here, I think we were 1-7-1, 1-8-1. We'd only won 1 game up to that point, and it was a complete turnaround, just moving into the mid-season, going into the All-Star break pretty hot, and it's just finding rhythms. The game of baseball is such a big wave, and it's trying to minimize those waves. It's like, an 8-game win streak here, 5-game losing streak here. It's like kind of finding those ebbs and flows and just staying with the process and just, it all work out in the end. Bounce here, bounce there. It's what makes or breaks a game, and it's showed so far tonight.
And when you came into Bourne, you were the player of the week. You were able to hit for the cycle in that first week. You kind of really turned things around for the Braves. And finishing up your junior season at Coastal Carolina, where you were fantastic, the Major League Baseball draft coming up. Tell me your feelings, excitement to be another Bravo and Coastal alum that hits the Major League market, and to get your time ready to go in minor league baseball.
It's a dream come true. I mean, you work your whole life for something like this, and it's one of the most invigorating times of my life.
As Garrett Michelle steps in here in top 6.
Is he 2 for 3 today?
Yeah, so talk about Garrett Michelle for just a second here before we say our goodbyes. 2 for 2, home run, and sees a strike here on a 1-1 count. Talk about Michelle's turnaround power-wise last summer. 7 home runs at 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was one of those things. He always talks about it. He come to the field, he's like, man, I don't know if I'm feeling it today. He'd always talk about, I think he almost led the league in strikeouts last year. Is one of those things that, they did such a good job, and our whole staff, and even us as teammates, helping him out, trying to give him pointers, trying to give him little tidbits of advice as he, just gets another hit there and make it 3 for 3 for him tonight. Making everybody play their best ball at the right times, and that's what it takes to win a playoff series. It's everybody clicking on the right strides, everybody going on the right things, and looks like that's what they're doing tonight.
Yeah, the exact time where Derek Bender shows up, the Braves have 11 hits and 6 runs for a struggling offense as Tristan Becerra steps into the box. But, Derek, I want to ask you after this pitch as Marlowe fires in, Becerra at shortstop. Kent can't pick it up, and Michelle to second base. So Bourne, runners on base galore once again. First player that you saw when you got in the dugout, who was that first guy, maybe a returner that you were pumped to see? Was there a player that wasn't your last summer, the first guy you went to?
The first guy I saw was Blake Barthel.
Okay.
I walk in, I see Blake. He's the most beautiful man on planet Earth.
He shaved his beard today.
I know. It's so sad to see it. He's got the best jawline beard ever, especially when he lines it up. He's incredible, an awesome human being. I love playing with him. I'm going to miss him a lot. But obviously, I see Garrett. I walk in. He's like, Bender, get out of the dugout. Leave. I'm like, I'm here giving you guys good luck. What do you mean? And some of it's working. I don't want to blame it all on me, but they obviously put in some work on the off day. I've heard stuff's been going in the right direction. I talked to Coach Kurt before the game. He's another guy that was awesome to see. Just it just looks like they're moving in the right direction. That's all it takes, really. It's just a bunch of guys working at the same stuff, developing, and just getting better.
First and second here for the Braves as Marlowe gets set to Clay Grady in the 9 spot. Grady shows bunt, puts it down in front here for Helfrich. He'll go to second base. He's going to get the force from Becerra. So first and third with 1 down for Bourne as they look for run number 7. And Derek, last words for you. Your message to the Bourne faithful here as they enter the second half of the season.
I'm going to say something I said last summer again. It's never too late to count a team out. This organization, this coaching staff, there's kids on this team that know how to win really big games and really big spots. And, don't count us out yet. 3-peat's still on the board.
Derek Bender, 3-peat still on the board. We appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
So back here with Nathan Schwartz on the mic as Merrick Houston steps in, top of the Braves order with first and third. But Derek, always a great guy to talk to, very lively in what he did last summer for the Braves. Always a plus .320 hitter at Coastal, slugged a lot of home runs. And an 0-1 count here from Marlowe as the Braves threatening once again. The pitch to Houston, line drive, right center field. Here comes Rogers. He's not going to make the play, bounces in front of him. So Michelle will score. And Merrick Houston, welcome back to the Braves. His first hit in his return. It's an RBI single, and Bourne in front, 7-0.
And he's able to extend the on-base streak that he had prior to leaving for Team USA. He got on base in all 8 games he played with Bourne prior to leaving. Now 2 weeks later, with that RBI single, able to make it a 9-game on-base streak.
Gives way to Cam Kozel here for the Bravos. First pitch to the lefty, breaking ball in there for a strike. But it's crazy to think, too, that Bourne 12 hits here tonight. It's going to be their best offensive performance of the season. And Bender somehow is in attendance for a game like this. And Cam Kozel, 3 for 3 at the moment. The lefty and Marlowe looks at second. 0-1 to Kozel. Swing and a miss.
And something lost in the shuffle right there. Garrett Michelle with that single. Derek Bender had the cycle last year. All Michelle needs is a triple tonight, and he could hit for the cycle.
Such an interesting afternoon tonight here from Stony Brook Field. Marlowe looking for out number 2 with 2 on. 0-2 to Kozel. Hard grounder at first base. Donate bobbles in the backhand. He'll look to take it himself. Close call at the back. He just got Kozel by a step on the 3 unassisted. So ends the perfect night for Kozel on the base paths. And gives way to Ethan Conrad here, but both runners advance. Grady to third base, Houston to second with 2 outs.
But even though Bourne getting out right there, just a lot of productive outs happening here. And Becerra reaches on the error by Kennett shortstop, but that ball blazing off the bat. Grady with the sac bunt. They get the force out at second, but still you set up runners on the corners for Houston and now Conrad.
First pitch to Conrad is a fastball in there for a strike. Conrad's 1 for 3. That single in the 5th inning scored as well with a stolen bag. Now 14 stolen bags, 1 behind Dumanel, who's the left fielder for Brewster for the Cape lead. 7-0 Brave lead here in top 6. 0-1 to Conrad is inside. It's a 1-1 count. And 2 errors for Brewster has not helped them as well. But Bourne has hit the ball hard on the ground a lot of the time, and it's made it very tough for this Brewster defense. Marlowe looking to get through his 2nd inning of work here out of the pen, replacing Seth Tomzak. Looks in for the sign. Here's the 1-1 2-out pitch. Conrad. He'll foul it off, out of play down the third base side. And on a night, too, where you think Conrad, the engine of this order, still has that single, but other guys stepping up. Best performance of the summer for Michelle, came in batting 6 for 42. As Nathan said, a triple shy from the cycle. And Conrad can make this 9-0 with a base hit. A long ball gives the Braves a 10-0 lead and would be a chance to mercy as time goes on. Marlowe steps off here before the 1-2. Looks in for the sign from Helfrich. Grady off third base. Merrick Houston off second. Houston had the RBI single. Marlowe the high leg kick. 1-2. Conrad drives it, kills it to center field. Ross back at the track. He leaps and he makes the catch. In front of the wall. Conrad goes to the deepest part of the ballpark on an upstairs fastball. He wanted it, but that ends the threat in the top of the 6th inning. But Bourne puts 1 on the board once again, and after 5.5 here from Stony Brook Field, a Braves 7-0 lead over the Whitecaps.
To be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Well, the Braves have scored in all 6 half innings so far, a 7-0 Bravos lead, and we enter bottom 6 here from Stony Brook Field. Miller Green, the lefty of the Vanderbilt, takes the mound, was at Team USA, has not pitched for the Braves since the 20th versus Hyannis, but Miller Green, a big player to have back into this bullpen, Nathan, has the appearance here as Bo Bryans was fantastic here tonight.
Yeah, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed, despite being hit pretty hard over those first 3 or 4 innings. 2 walks, which we talked about coming in was going to be huge for his outing tonight, and picks up those 4 additional strikeouts. Just what an outing for Bo Bryans, and it really just feels like him being back in that starter role has unlocked a whole different side of this Bourne pitching staff.
Back-to-back starts for Bryans where he goes 5 innings, only 1 earned run total, and those 4 strikeouts, only 1-1-2-3 inning. That came in bottom 5. It's 4-5-6 for Brewster, Andrew Fisher, Danny Gouvet, and Brody Donay. As Miller Green takes the bump here, the 6'5", 232-pound lefty, towering from the rubber. He'll work from the windup here to begin. Andrew Fisher's 1 for 2. Stands low in the lefty's batter's box, wide stance. First pitch, low and outside. And the first appearance for Green of the summer actually came here from Stony Brook Field on the 16th. 1 inning, no hits, no earned on 2 strikeouts. Green has that closed stance on the bump, now fires. It's a ground ball foul first base side. This past spring went 2-4, 3.16 ERA. Had 3 saves out of the bullpen for Vanderbilt, and 34 strikeouts to only 8 walks. Tim Corbin talks about his ability, his self-trust, has a very good craft and a pitch mix on the bump. Fisher stands back in, 1-1, just underway here in bottom 6. Fastball misses low and outside. Having Green back in this bullpen, a bullpen that has done a lot better of late, really adds a good piece in what he was able to do at Vanderbilt. Those walk numbers, 8 to 34 strikeouts, and comes in with a curveball, 2-2.
Dan, we don't know how much longer Green is going to be here, but for however long he is here going back from Team USA, just going to add another potent arm to this Bourne bullpen that's been sensational.
His 2-2. Fisher pops it up, at a play behind home plate. Fisher singled in the first, fly out in the 3rd inning. Second team All-SEC this past spring. We talked about his transfer to Tennessee this coming fall. Now play for the Vols, the national champs. Miller Green looking for his first out and his first batter back from Team USA. 2-2, line deep to center field. Stanfield in the gap, shades towards left center, and makes the catch for out number 1. But man, Chris Stanfield, the hat loss once again. We'll have to get a count at the end of the season for how often that happens. And Stanfield has the hair as well, but maybe you just get a larger hat, something, always just picking it up.
Yeah, I don't know the solution there, but I know what my job is going to be, to go through every stream throughout the entire year and count up how many times Chris Stanfield lost his hat.
Here's Danny Cuvée, the righty. First pitch low and inside. We also have to ask Stanfield, too. That's the next question I'm going to ask him tomorrow during BP at Orleans about the hat situation. Green gets that first out. 1-0 pitch to Cuvée. Breaking ball low and inside to the DH out of Miami. Just finished up his freshman season. 0 for 2 here tonight was one of the 4 strikeouts from Bo Bryans. That came swinging back in the third. Green out of Nashville, Tennessee. His 2-0. Heaters low and in. Was the number 4 left-hander in Tennessee and number 17 national left-handed pitcher out of high school. That was just 2 years back. Sets up, looking to work back on Cuvée. 3-0. Cuvée had the green light. Fouls out of play. Makes sense to have the green light here late in this one. Bottom 6 on a 7-0 deficit. And that home run last night was Cuvée. That one's still going. Almost 460 feet. 3-1. Breaking ball at the knees. Cuvée had his bat on his shoulder the whole entire way. Had a 3-1 take sign. So it's a full count. Green looking to put the first 2 down out of the pen. Normal depth here for the Braves defense. 3-2. Grounded foul third base side and down the line. And as you mentioned, Nathan, earlier, Bourne has that bullpen rested. It was really just Nolan Sparks. We saw an out from both, or actually pretty much a batter from both Justin Legurnick and Justin West. So Miller Green here can come out of the pen as the 3-2 fouled off once again. And then Bourne, maybe a chance to not use somebody else. Green 31 and 1/3 innings pitched in 20 games this past spring, so not the longest of relievers. You wonder what Bourne does as well, trying to conserve pitching on a big lead. 3-2 count to Cuvée with 1 down. Green, outside corner, misses, and a long walk, and a base runner here for the Whitecaps.
Yeah, you just look at how rested this team is in the bullpen right now. J.D. Thompson throws 3 on Sunday. We don't know if Joe Arriola is going to get a couple starts here down the stretch. Griffin Hughes hasn't pitched since Sunday. John Abraham hasn't pitched since Friday. Fay pitched on Saturday. McCausland hasn't pitched since Thursday. We could see him late in this game or potentially tomorrow.
Here's the righty Brody Donay with the teal bat. First pitch off speed in there at the belt. And it kind of sets up Bourne in a good spot right now. We talked about going on the run at the right time. You win here, you get Orleans tomorrow on the road. And then Hyannis on Friday back at home for Redshirt Friday. Green's 0-1. Heater just in to the Florida Gator.
And you also have Zach Crotchfeld that threw an inning on Sunday through the 9th. Chase Meyer has been much better as of late. He threw 2 2/3 on Friday. Really a whole bunch of options right now for Scott Landers.
Green's 1-1. Block from Hartle. It's in the dirt. Cuvée is going. Hartle's throw. This one's close. He's out. Cuvée didn't slide. Thought he was going to walk into second base. Ben Hartle, a pitch that rolled to his left side down the third base line. Picked it up. 1 step, throw to second base, and Cuvée is out. Grady on the quick tag. And Danny Cuvée not sliding into second base. Just one of those nights here for the Whitecaps.
Yeah, don't have a whole lot there. Just got to slide in that situation. He probably would have been well into the tag if he slid.
So a 2-0 count with 2 away. As Donay clubs one, and this one is way gone. Brody Donay into the trees in left. 3rd home run of his summer. And puts the Whitecaps on the board here in bottom 6. It's 7-1.
107 off the bat from Brody Donay right there. Launch angle of 26 degrees. You knew that one off the bat immediately. And it's absolutely massive to make sure you get that runner out at second base in Cuvée. That goes from being a 2-run homer to the solo homer just by throwing out the runner.
Yeah, that's a big difference here, not scoreboard-wise, but for Brewster, 6-run game instead of a 5-run game. And Cuvée must be kicking himself there on the caught stealing. But Donay, way gone there to left field, as Nathan mentioned, 107 off the bat on a middle-in fastball. Here's the lefty, J.D. Rogers, for a lefty-on-lefty, and 2 Vandy teammates, as Green wins the first pitch, 0-1 count. Always some fun when you see some teammates facing off here on Cape Cod. Rodgers is 1 for 2. 0-1 to him is a fastball up and outside. But Rodgers, the upperclassman, going to be a rising senior. Miller Green, the rising sophomore. Add some more effect to this battle. 1-1. Rodgers way out in front. It's 1-2. So Miller Green had the first out down on Fisher. The walk, caught stealing from Hartle, home run from Done, and looking to leave this inning with only 1 run allowed on 2 base runners. 1-2 count here to J.D. Rogers. The pitch, swing and a miss. Rogers way out in front. Miller Green wins the Vandy battle and ends the bottom of the 6th inning. Brody Done, a solo blast, makes the score 7-1. We head to the 7th here from Stony Brook Field. I'll hand play-by-play off to Nathan Schwartz. He'll take you the rest of the way here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace@buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
What a night it's been for the Bourne Braves here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. The Bravos lead 7-1 over the home Whitecaps here in Game 21 of the Cape League season. And we welcome you back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network alongside Cam Manna and Adam Gotkin. I'm Nathan Schwartz, going to take you the rest of the way here tonight. And for this Bourne team, my goodness, 12 hits, their best offensive performance so far this summer. And it's been the extra base hits that have been a big reason why.
Yeah, and Braden Holcomb, this guy in the box, the plays he's made at third base here tonight, the double, the 4 RBIs at the moment, 3 for 3. Doing it with 2 outs as well. We'll talk about that, but Bourne has done it right here tonight with the bats.
5 extra base hits tonight for Bourne, and Braden Holcomb back to the plate for the 4th time. First pitch, he's been aggressive tonight, but he takes here, and it's strike 1 against the southpaw in Jacob Marlowe, who's already threw an inning and a third, gave up 1 unearned run in that top half of the 6th. Here's the 0-1 fastball just off the plate, and the count evens. Well, for Holcomb tonight, RBI double in the 1st, RBI single in the 3rd, and a 2-run infield single in the 5th. On a soft chopper to Caden Kent at shortstop. 1-1 curveball on the ground, hard again to Caden Kent. The bobble, the throw, and this time Holcomb not able to beat it out. So the first time that Holcomb goes down tonight, and that'll give way to Chris Stanfield. But just going back to Holcomb real quick, all 3 of his RBI hits tonight have come with 2 outs, and that's huge for this Bourne team that coming in was hitting just 155 with 2 outs, dead last in the Cape.
They had 16 2-out RBI hits coming in. Holcomb's 3 makes it 19, and Bourne tonight doing better in that category.
First pitch, Stanfield squares to bunt, pulls back, and it's up and out for ball number 1. But that's now 26 total RBIs this summer for Bourne with 2 outs. That RBI number was coming in was tied for 6th best in the Cape. Another square, another pullback from Stanfield on the 1-0 as the count moves to 2-0 to the LSU outfielder, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Had that leadoff solo blast in the 4th. Grounded out to Done in the 1st and then reached on an error by Andrew Fisher in the 5th. 2-0 looping curveball finds the bottom of the zone. And Chris Stanfield, his season has really just taken a big turn here in the last couple of days. He's now on a 9-game on-base streak, 5 for 16 in his last 5. As the 2-1, he waves and misses to even the count. But he was 4 for 30 in his last 8.5 games prior to Sunday. And he's just completely revitalized his summer. 2-2 off the plate to make the count full. And hitting pretty much anywhere in this Bourne lineup.
And in that 9-game on-base streak, also showing the power. 2 home runs for Stanfield. You think he's more of a speedster. Has shown the power so far.
Payoff offering, wave and a miss by Stanfield on a pitch below the zone. And that's back-to-back outs to begin the 7th for Marlowe.
Good pitch there from Marlowe, low and outside, gets Stanfield to chase with 2 strikes, but as you mentioned, him turning around his summer and what this does for this Bourne lineup. These guys that were struggling, that were supposed to kind of come out hot, like Michelle, obviously with the injury, but then Stanfield as well, now coming to their own.
A guy that came into his own on Monday was Ben Hartle. A couple of doubles, but he's 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch he sees in at-bat number 4 at the top of the zone for strike 1. Hartle, a ground out to Done in the second, grounded out to Kent in the 4th, and then flew out to Diamez-Ross at the warning track to end the 5th. 0-1 breaking pitch off the outside corner, and Ryder Helfrich bounce throws the ball back to Jacob Marlowe on the mound. Helfrich from Arkansas, Marlowe on the mound, a Seminole from Florida State. 1-1 heater, up and out for ball number 2. Marlowe, this is his 3rd appearance against Bourne. The first one, he just threw 2/3 of an inning, didn't give up a hit or a run, didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out. As the 2-1 to Hartle spikes in front of Helfrich and goes all the way back to the backstop for ball 3. In that second matchup for Marlowe, a little bit different, an inning and 2/3 this time, a little bit more extended. Gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits, still no walks, but struck out 3. And so far tonight, he's through 2 complete. 3-1 out of the wind, and that's up and out for ball 4 as Ben Hartle extends his on-base streak to all 6 games he's played with the Bourne Braves.
Yeah, his 5th walk of the summer, and an 0 for 3 coming into that AB where it's a hard 0 for 3. 3 really hard outs, especially that one to center in that 5th inning. And getting on base is a big part of Hartle's game, showing that so far, quality ABs, and trying to start another rally for Bourne, if trying to go on the board for the 7th straight time.
That brings up Garrett Michelle, triple shy of the cycle. First pitch, he sends it into the left center field gap. That's going to get down for another base hit, his 4th of the night. Definitely not enough to get him a triple, but I think Garrett's going to settle for a 4-hit night here at Stony Brook Field.
Baseball is a crazy game. Michelle comes in 6 for 42 with 6 RBIs. Then he has the solo homer, the double, that single and scored in the 6th, and a single as well. Off the bat, everyone kind of jumped for a quick second. That one in the gap, and if Diamez-Ross takes a weird route to that baseball, there is a chance. Michelle was looking for at least 2 or 3 out of the box, but as you said, Nathan, he'll stick for a 4 for 4 night.
He leads off of first. Ben Hartle goes from first to third on that. So runners with the corners with 2 away for Tristan Becerra, looking to reach base for the first time in a Bravo uniform. First pitch curveball he takes in the inner half. The top 7 Bourne hitters have all reached base tonight. Becerra and Grady at the bottom, a combined 0 for 5, with Grady having a sacrifice his last time up. Bourne looking to add to this 6-run lead. The 0-1 pitch from Marlowe. Becerra chops it foul just past the Bourne dugout as Marlowe works up 0-2. ACC on ACC right here. Florida State on the mound. Clemson in the box for Becerra, who hit .298 in his redshirt sophomore campaign. Became the primary starter in left field during the second half of Clemson's season. And he takes the 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1.
And we've yet to see here Marlowe's true put-away pitch, that 1 strikeout, but 1-2 away. You don't want to miss with that curveball once again, kind of middle and at the belt of the zone here to Becerra, who put a good swing on the baseball back in the 6th.
Bourne looking to respond to that Brody Done homer in the bottom half of the 6th. Runners on the corners in top 7. 1-2 to Becerra in the dirt for ball 2, and Michelle going to take second base. He's doing it all here tonight, isn't he, Cam?
Stolen bags and kind of just quick running there on that pitch. Really good night for Michelle, just turning it on. What that does for the confidence of a hitter. We talked about his hot start in February and March, and this is the player that the Braves expected turning on here in the second half.
That's his 2nd stolen base of the summer. His 5th in a Bourne uniform. He had 3 of them last year. As Becerra's going to call time before the pitch clock runs out on him. But now, situation a whole lot different. 2 runners in scoring position for Bourne with 2 away. A 2-2 count against Tristan Becerra in his Bourne debut. Left-on-left matchup. The 2-2 from Marlowe, swing and a miss, strike 3. Becerra now 0 for 4 as he enters play on the Cape. And for the first time tonight, Bourne will not score a run in the top half of an inning. But they still lead 7-1 as we head to the 7th inning stretch here from Brewster.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Brewster sends 8-9-1 in its order to the plate, looking to at least get a couple of runs back here in a 7-1 Bravo lead as we start the back half of the 2024 Cape League season here in the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. It'll be Drew Farreau, Diamez Ross, and Nick Dumanel due up for Brewster against Miller Green in his second inning of work in his return from Team USA. First pitch of bottom 7. Farreau does go around, and that'll be strike number 1 to the Florida State infielder. Playing second base today for Brewster. So far tonight, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Miller Green out of the wind, 0-1 curveball makes it 0-2. And a good start to Miller Green, who did give up that solo home run to Brody Donay with 2 outs in bottom 6. Green a long wait between pitches. Pitch clock down to 6, but he goes to the plate and spikes one in front of Hartle for ball 1.
And we saw after that home run, that next strikeout to J.D. Rogers on 3 pitches, his Vanderbilt teammate. So working down there and looking to put the first batter down of an inning once again. Did that in the 6th.
The last 3 innings for Brewster, they have not gotten the leadoff man on. And the 1-2 at the top of the zone, strike 3. Make that 4 straight innings for the Whitecaps where they don't get the leadoff man on as Miller Green gets back-to-back strikeouts.
That's a tough pitch to hit there where you kind of hang and breaking the ball pitch, but it stays at the letters, fools the hitter. They think it's up. Stays in the zone. Good spot to Farreau. Second time he's gone down on strikes here tonight.
That gives way to the number 9 hitter, Diamez Ross, patrolling in center field tonight. Made a couple of plays against the warning track and made that nice play to cut off the Michelle single as the wind really kicks in here before the pitch. And it's outside for ball 1. Dirt kicking up everywhere. There's the dust with the gravel kicking up in our faces on this warning track just behind home plate. The wind had settled down there for a good bit, but it's back here in bottom 7. As the 1-0 fastball line to left. Bassetta right there, and he's got it for out number 2.
And a good swing there from Diamez Ross, but that wind helped him a little bit on the distance, but a good read from Bassetta. Just 3 steps back, makes the catch. And Bourne looking for their second 1-2-3 on the pitching side here tonight.
Nick Dumanel to the plate now for Brewster. 1 for 3 tonight. Leadoff single in the first. He was stranded at third base on the Danny Cuvée line out to Stanfield in center. First pitch from Miller Green in there for strike 1. A couple of ground outs as well tonight for Dumanel, who came in hitting .299. Now with 21 hits, which he came in tied for the team lead with 20 with Ryder Helfrich. 0-1 in the dirt for ball number 1 to even the count. Helfrich 0 for 3 tonight, so at the moment, Dumanel leading this Brewster team in hits. Those 20 hits also tied for 9th in the Cape. 1-1 for Miller Green. Fastball wave and a miss. 90 on the outside corner from Miller Green as he works up 1-2. Looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Bo Bryant's had a 1-2-3 inning. His last inning of work in the 5th. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss, strike 3. 3 strikeouts and 2 innings of work for Miller Green in his return from Team USA. And the Bravos still remain on top, 7-1 as we head to the 8th from Stony Brook Field on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network alongside Cam Manna. I'm Nathan Schwartz. Top of the 8th here from Stony Brook Field and Brewster, where the Bravos lead 7-1. And a bit of a downward spiral here in terms of runs. The Bravos scored in the first 6 innings, and Brewster responds with a solo homer in the bottom half of the 6th. But for the first time tonight in that 7th inning, neither team scores a run. And the game picks up speed a little bit as Clay Grady, Merrick Houston, and Cam Kojal will lead off this top half of the 8th against Boston Flannery, the new pitcher for Brewster.
Yeah, and so far for him, looking to kind of turn around his summer, will be his 3rd appearance. Only 3 1/3 innings pitched, but he's been hit hard. 7 hits and 5 earned runs at the moment. So we'll come in here to a spot where it makes sense, kind of get your grounding and turn some things around right now in a game that's almost washed here in the top of the 8th.
And the big thing for Flannery, just keep it where it is. He knows this offense of his can strike at any moment. But also this Bourne offense just showing a completely new life here tonight after the off day. They got beat pretty bad by YD on Monday back at home. That 5-run 7th for the Red Sox. And then the fog out, so that game ends 8-2 in the middle of the 8th inning. And then here tonight, they jump out to a 7-0 lead before that Brody Donay homer in the bottom half of the 6th. And that's where we stand now, 7-1. The Bravos with 13 hits to Brewster's 5. A couple of errors on the Whitecaps side, but nothing for Bourne in that department. As Clay Grady steps into the box, first pitch he sees against Flannery, he pops it up to the right side of the infield. This is Donay in foul territory to make the catch for out number 1.
And Grady there with an 0 for 3 at the moment. Did reach base, kind of just trying to look first pitch fastball. He got it. Just up in the zone, chasing early. You like the approach, looking first pitch fastball, just not the pitch that you want.
Now 0 for 7 between Becerra and Grady, the bottom 2 hitters in this Bourne order. But the top 7 have made up for that. 13 hits, 7 runs for Bourne here tonight as Merrick Houston steps back to the plate with 1 away. First pitch fastball just below the zone for ball number 1. Merrick got his first hit since rejoining the team in the top half of the 6th with that RBI single to score Garrett Michelle. 1 for 4 in total tonight. And there's a 1-0 curveball finding the inside corner for strike number 1 to Merrick Houston. Houston came into tonight hitting .360 across 8 games this summer. And he takes another pitch, this time at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. He had a 5-game hitting streak to begin the season. Then had the 8-game on base streak, which now is at 9 following that RBI single. And the 1-2 from Flannery. Fastball just below the zone to even the count. And also 3 multi-hit performances for Merrick Houston this summer. Could get a 4th right here with a base knock. As Flannery goes out of the wind and deals the 2-2. Just off the outside corner to make the count full.
And a good take there from Merrick Houston and his ability to work counts. Very patient in the box, works this thing 3-2.
Could we see another walk here for Merrick Houston? 3-2. He fouls it away. A pitch at the top of the zone. Got to swing at anything close with 2 strikes. Talked about it coming in. Eric Houston, the walk merchant, just one behind Chris Stanfield for the team lead, which Houston held for pretty much his entire time away from the team. And the 3-2. Again, one elevated but fouled off on the ground by Houston.
And even in this AB, there was a 1-1 pitch that was a good fastball middle in. He didn't love the pitch, so he works at 1 and 2, but he's not afraid to go and beat down an account with 2 strikes.
Very professional approach from Eric Houston here tonight and throughout the summer. As the 3-2, that one near his head. And there's the walk once again from Eric Houston. He had 3 in his last game with Bourne back on the 24th at Hyannis and picks up his first in his return to once again make him in a tie for the team lead with Chris Stanfield.
You spoil 2 pitches, then you see a pitch out of the zone and making Flannery work here. That was his second batter. Now Cam Kojal is swinging a hot bat, 3 for 4 tonight.
The 12th walk of the summer from Eric Houston brings up Cam Kojal with a runner on and 1 away. And that's going to hit him on the knee. Going to have to jog that one off. That's going to leave a bruise tomorrow morning. But for the time being, that'll put him on first and Houston on second with just 1 away.
Yeah, really tough spot to get hit, kind of there on the outer part of the knee from Kojal. Has a quick smile at first base with Quinn Stromberg, the Braves' first base coach. But sets up Bourne once again. You have first and second, 1 out. And Conrad singled in the 5th, but that last AB was very close for a 3-run shot.
It's the first time Kojal's been hit by a pitch during a game so far this summer as Ethan Conrad comes to the plate. First pitch fouled away. We've seen Cam get hit in the head a couple times during batting practice, a couple scary situations, but right there just takes one off the knee. I'm sure he prefers that over the previous way of getting hit. But now Conrad, 1 for 4 tonight, had that single on the hit and run back in the 5th. As Flannery steps off, the pitch clock will reset to 20 seconds. Houston leading off a second. Kojal off a first. And the pitch to Conrad. Inside corners, called strike 2. But Conrad came in guns a-blazing. 6 multi-hit games. Had the 8-game hitting streak to begin his summer, which was snapped on Friday against Harwich. But now a couple games in a row with a hit for Conrad, back-to-back. And a 1-2 pitch. Off the handle of the bat to short. Kent flips with the glove to Farrow. The throw to first, not in time for the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Instead, it'll be a fielder's choice for Ethan Conrad. And now runners on the corners for the Bravos.
And not even bad there for Conrad. 2 outs, now you have a runner 90 feet away for the way Holcomb's been swinging the bat. Just jammed there was Conrad up the middle.
And once again, Braden Holcomb going to have a chance to drive home a run with 2 outs. All 3 of his RBI hits tonight have come with 2 outs. The RBI double in the 1st, the RBI single in the 3rd, and that 2-run single in the 5th. Could have a chance to get RBI number 5 right here. The first pitch he sees, swinging and fouling it away over our heads behind the press box.
You love the approach too from Holcomb, and these all at bats so far, he's been first pitch swinging, and he's seen fastballs, first pitches as well. He wanted that first pitch, and he wants to attack.
This is the 7th multi-hit game of the summer for Braden Holcomb in his 20th game with the Bravos. There goes Conrad. The throw to second by Helfrich will be scooped out by Farrow, but for Ethan Conrad, he's going to get his 2nd stolen base tonight and now tie Nick Dumanel at the top of the Cape League statistics there.
15 each.
For Dumanel, he's played a bunch more than Ethan Conrad has this summer. This being just the 12th game for Conrad. As Holcomb, another soft chopper to Caden Kent. He plays the hop, throws to first. Holcomb does not beat it out, and that'll end the inning. Bourne strands 2 in scoring position, doesn't score for a 2nd straight inning, but still on top by 6. It's 7-1 Bravos heading into bottom 8 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. 7-1 the score. Here as we start the bottom half of the 8th, alongside Cam Manna and Adam Gotkin joining us now. My name is Nathan Schwartz. Adam, let's talk about what's happening around the Cape tonight.
Well, we've got a busy day on the Cape after some off days to start the week. All 10 teams in action. Let's start off Falmouth at Hyannis. That game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Eric Snow just tied it for the Harbor Hawks with a 1-run home run. Katuitt versus Wareham. That game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gateman lead 3-2. Tristan Gray in an RBI double to take the lead for Wareham. Harwich versus Orleans. That game in the top of the 3rd, and the Mariners lead 4-2. Cam Maldonado hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 1st inning. And finally, YD against Chatham just got underway. That game in the bottom of the 1st inning, and no runs scored yet. Of course, at Chatham means a 7 p.m. start, so we'll have Cape League baseball going on for the next couple hours tonight.
Thank you so much, Adam. Definitely want to keep an eye on that Falmouth Hyannis score. That's going to be huge for Bourne here tonight. Bourne clinging on to this 6-run advantage. If they can hold on and win here tonight, a Falmouth loss would separate them a little bit at the bottom of the West Division, as Bourne tries to make sure that that's not a talking point we talk about night in and night out as we start the back half of the summer.
Both teams with 7 wins. The Braves have 2 less losses with the 2 ties, and Falmouth and Bourne will face off on Saturday at the Gov.
Going to be a crucial matchup there. Pending the weather, there is some rain in the forecast for the weekend as Caden Kent waves and misses on the first pitch curveball from Miller Green. Back out for inning number 3 of his outing in his return to Bourne. He went 2 2/3 in his last appearance against YD on the 23rd. As the 0-1, another curveball, another called strike to make the count 0-2. Green trying to take a season high in innings pitched right here if he can get through the 8th. And the 0-2 back to the curveball, but this one misses off the plate. But he came in throwing 4 2/3 across 3 appearances, a 3.86 ERA, no walks, 8 strikeouts. He did have his first walk in that 6th inning. Did he go around? No, says our third base umpire, and Martin Hasenfuss. So the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes between Miller Green and Caden Kent, who's 1 for 3 tonight with a leadoff single back in the 3rd. 2-2 offering from Green. Fastball grounded to Clay Grady at second, and he's going to boot it. And that will allow Brewster to get a leadoff base runner here in bottom 8.
Tough there for Grady, the righty coming in. Decided to not backhand it, wanted it on the forehand scoop. So he's going to get the E4. And a base runner here for Brewster, and snapping a 4-inning streak of not having a leadoff base runner.
And for Grady, it's tough, too. He's been playing shortstop for the better part of the last 2 weeks. With Merrick Houston gone, and with Jack Penny gone especially, Grady's been the everyday man at short, now playing second. As the first pitch to Ryder Helfrich misses up and out. It's so different between shortstop and second base. Especially for Grady having to come across his body, make a cross-body throw there to first. 1-0. Fastball drilled the other way, but way foul off the bat of Ryder Helfrich, who is still in search of his first base knock tonight. He went 2 for 4 yesterday with a long ball. Came in with the team lead with 6 home runs. That's tied for second on the Cape behind Vahiva Aloy. As the 1-1 from Green. Changeup popped up right side of the infield. Grady again with a chance to make a play, and he will this time for out number 1.
And a routine play for Grady, but still a good bounce back. As Green here looking to bear down, keep it where it is. That's your job right now. A 7-1 lead. You're working with house money. You have your team in a good spot right now as Bourne inching closer to win number 8.
And for Helfrich, his last at-bat in that last matchup between these 2 teams on the 25th, hit a solo home run for some insurance in that game. And here in his 4th at-bat, he now goes down 0 for 4 tonight. As Andrew Fisher comes to the plate, first pitch he sees down in the dirt, blocked by Hartle. And the count 1-0 in favor of the newest Tennessee Volunteer, Andrew Fisher. Just announced his transfer commitment yesterday. In his first game back with Brewster, after playing in 17 games before going on his visits around the SEC. 1-0 fastball, that's on the outside corner to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fisher did pick up a hit in his first at-bat back in the first inning, and has since flown out twice. 1-1 pitch from Green, another heater. And this one up and out for ball 2, as we do have a defensive change for Bourne here in the bottom half of the 8th. Isaiah Jackson replacing Chris Stanfield in center. It's the only change so far tonight. Becerra remains in left. Conrad remains in right in the Bourne outfield. Green set with the runner at first. 2-1 to the plate. Fastball just missing outside once again for ball number 3. As we've seen the velocity from Miller Green anywhere from 88 to 91 here tonight on that fastball. And a game that's still far from over. This Brewster lineup has been prone to late inning comebacks throughout the season. 3-1. Back to the curveball and in there for strike 2 as Fisher trying to figure out whether that was on the inside corner at the bottom of the zone.
A really good pitch there from Green. You come low and in on a lefty on lefty. Tough to hit.
Back to the left-on-left matchup. 3-2 slider. This one bounces in front of the plate. Fisher takes, working his 14th walk of the summer, which leads the team, and putting 2 runners on base for the Whitecaps here in bottom 8.
And as you mentioned, this Brewster squad, they can really swing it and do it in a hurry with a large spot of runs. And Cuvée can do it in one swing as well.
He has 3 homers so far this summer. 1 came yesterday at Lowell Park. Cam, you talked about the distance a whole lot tonight. That Brody Donay one earlier in the game might have at least given that some competition. First pitch slider off the plate by Miller Green, who did have to work around the error to begin the inning by Clay Grady at second base. If that play was made, there would be 2 outs instead of the 1 here after the pop out by Helfrich. So runners on second and first for the Whitecaps, and a 1-0 count to Cuvée, who swings away and fouls it away for strike 1. Cuvée 0 for 2 tonight, lined out to Stanfield in center back in the first. Struck out swinging to end the third off of Bo Bryans, and then drew a walk off of Miller Green, the second batter that Green faced to start the bottom half of the 6th. Cuvée was then thrown out at second base, and then 1 pitch later, Donay hits the solo homer. Green checking back with Ken, who leads at second, and the 1-1 breaking ball down low. But what a freshman season it was for Cuvée in the ACC. Tied for the 2nd most home runs in a single season in Miami history. He did set the freshman home run record with 24. As the 2-1 fastball from Miller Green misses up and out for ball 3. But also for Cuvée, he led all NCAA freshmen in RBIs with 75 on the All-ACC second team and the All-Freshman team after being selected in the 17th round of last year's draft by the Pirates. We're deciding to spend his 3 years in college. Green with the 3-1 pitch. Fastball low for ball 4. That's back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the 8th. The second walk for Cuvée tonight, and all of a sudden this game just got a whole lot more interesting.
And this can get dangerous right now, and you wonder the limit here for Scott Landers. He's walking out of the dugout, so right on cue, he's going to talk here with Miller Green. Go under the leash. Is this it right now? Calm him down with 1 down, but Donay had that solo home run in that 6th inning, and 1 swing could really change this baseball game.
Coach Landers coming to have a chat with Miller Green. Doesn't look like he's taking the ball quite yet. A ground ball double play could end the inning, and this is far from being a situation where it could get out of hand for Bourne. But if Donay hypothetically were to hit one out, it would be a 2-run game. He's already got that 1 home run tonight, a mammoth blast into the trees in straightaway left. You knew that was gone off the bat. It was 107 miles an hour off the bat. As Coach Landers will head back to the dugout, Miller Green remains on the mound for Bourne. And it'll be a bases-loaded opportunity for the Whitecaps with 1 away for Donay, their first baseman. That home run in the 6th was Donay's 3rd of the summer in just his 11th game. He had 14 of them this spring with the Florida Gators. Bases loaded. First pitch to Green. Blocked by Hartle. What a play that was by the Jayhawk backstop. With a count 1-0 to begin to Donay.
And you want to see Green's confidence here. You saw that swing from Donay, way gone in left field, a solo homer. How does Green attack now, knowing that he had that swing?
Kent at third, Fisher at second, Cuvée at first for the Whitecaps. One away here in bottom 8. The 1-0 from Miller Green. Fastball top of the zone to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. As John Abraham throws for Bourne in the bullpen, the right-hander from Florida State. Could be his second appearance in a Bourne uniform. Abraham last pitched on Friday in the win against Harwich, going 2 innings, giving up 1 earned run. But Miller Green trying to get out of this bases-loaded jam. Here's his 1-1. On the ground to Holcomb, and it's past his glove and into left field. Kent's going to score. Fisher gets the wave around third. Becerra can't handle it in left field, and that's a 2-run single for Brody Donay. He's responsible for all 3 runs tonight for the Whitecaps. And all of a sudden, a brand new ball game here at Stony Brook Field.
Yeah, now it's, a spot here where Bourne really has to find themselves on the defensive side. Holcomb's made outstanding plays all night. That one under his glove. First and third, double play still in check here on J.D. Rogers. But Bourne has to bear down right here. You have to find out number 2. Can't let this get out of hand and be a 3-run game with 1 down.
Holcomb had been so sound defensively tonight. That one could have been an inning-ending double play. But instead, a 2-run single for Donay and J.D. Rogers to the plate with 1 away. And runners on the corners for Brewster. First pitch, slider down in the dirt for ball number 1. And that's been an issue for Green here in the 8th inning. First pitch balls. Started that count to Donay with 1 in the dirt. Wound up being a 2-run single. Green comes set and the 1-0 pitch at the top of the zone to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Rogers tonight, a single back in the second with 1 away. Grounded out to Houston at short in the 4th and then struck out swinging against Green in the 6th inning. And a 7-3 ball game now. Bourne still on top. The 1-1 pitch with 1 away. Slider down and out for ball 2 as Hartle tries to settle down Miller Green on the mound.
And what a response here from J.D. Rogers. If you remember that last AB between Green and Rogers, Rogers chased 2 of those pitches, those low and outside sliders away. Now adjusting here, makes it 2-1.
Green trying to keep the damage where it is as the 2-1 fastball paints the outside corner for strike 2. This inning started with an error by Clay Grady at second base. Then the pop out for Helfrich. Back-to-back walks for Fisher and Cuvée. The 2-run single for Donay. And now runners on the corners for Brewster. And a 2-2 count for J.D. Rogers. Here's the pitch for Green. Did he go around? Yes, he did. And here comes Cuvée to the plate. Green did not cover the bag. So that'll be a strikeout, then a wild pitch, scoring a run. Cuvée comes home, and it's 7-4.
And a pitch that was way low in the dirt. Thankfully for Miller Green, Rogers decides to swing at that. We talked about the adjustment we saw on the pitches before, but that one bounces on the plate. So Green kind of wins a battle he had to win, but has to cover home there and makes it a 3-run game. Now you have that tying run on the on-deck circle right now for the Whitecaps.
That was the 4th strikeout of the night for Miller Green, but who knows if he was covering the plate. Maybe there's a plate there, and that could be a double play to end the inning. But instead gives way to Drew Farreau from Florida State, and the first pitch he sees is inside. Farreau 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Both times he's gone down, it's been via the punch-out. A backwards K to begin the 7th for Miller Green the last time between these two. 1-0 heater just below the zone as Diamez Ross represents the tying run at the plate for Brewster in the on-deck circle. And you think for Bourne in the top of the 9th, they haven't scored since the 6th, but looking for insurance in a game that has really become a game that they really want to win. 2-0, curveball, outside corner, strike 1. Well, for Bourne, the offense was potent in the first 6 innings. They scored at least 1 in each of the 6 innings. They scored 2 in the 5th. They've actually stranded 2 runners in each of the last 4 innings, something to keep in mind as this game goes on. Here's the 2-1 for Miller Green. On the ground to third, Holcomb able to get a glove on it this time to throw to first, Michelle to scoop, and a big third out for Miller Green to end the bottom half of the 8th inning.
but Brewster does get 3 more, highlighted by that 2-run single by Brody Done. And the score now in favor of Bourne, but 7-4 as we head to the top half of the 9th here in the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Top half of the 9th here from Stony Brook Field in Brewster. 7-4 the score between the Bravos and the Whitecaps as we start the back half of the Cape League season. And Bourne looking to add some insurance here after Brewster scores 3 in the bottom half of the 8th.
And they'll have to add insurance here. We talk about this Brewster offense, what they can do in an inning, mustering together 3 runs in that bottom 8. They could do that there with the power in this lineup. So Bourne in desperate need of insurance right now.
Isaiah Jackson will lead things off for Bourne, coming in for Chris Stanfield defensively in that bottom half of the 8th inning. Boston Flannery still on the mound for Brewster. First pitch up and out to Jackson for ball number 1. Alongside Cam Manna, Nathan Schwartz with you here tonight. Please, you're joining us here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Flannery. Again, up and out for ball 2, as Isaiah Jackson had that big hit against Katuitt the other night to break that 0-for-26 streak. He's hitting just an even 100 here in 2024 with the Bravos. 2-0, green light, foul ball to the Brewster dugout. Over Jackson, that one hit, how much could that mean for his confidence here? Now getting an at-bat in a crucial spot, the leadoff man here in top 9. An inning where Bourne needs to add at least 1 run. 2-1, foul tip into the mitt of Helfrich for strike 2. But this game far from over. We saw it there in bottom 8. Brewster can pounce at any moment. 7-4 now after it was 7-1 going into bottom 8. As the 2-2 from Flannery misses outside for ball 3, and it's a full count from Flannery to Jackson. Big pitch here. Pay off the leadoff man, Jackson, here in top 9. Here it is. Inside for ball 4, goes all the way to the backstop. And Isaiah Jackson, with his 6th walk of the summer, puts the leadoff man on for Bourne.
And that's one thing that Jackson has done through his now 13 games. He's worked some longer ABs. It's just being able to fight off some pitches, working that at-bat well after his 3 straight days off from being in a game, that last appearance against the Kettleers. And now Bourne really have to play your kind of brand here. You wonder if Jackson's going to be running early.
Jackson, a base-stealing threat. He only has 1 so far this summer. Stays put here on the first pitch to Ben Hartle, who takes strike 1. For Hartle, hasn't had a hit tonight, but he did draw a walk with 2 away in that top half of the 7th inning. His on-base percentage over 500 so far through the first 6 games. And he takes one upstairs to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike against Boston Flannery.
And he's seen the ball well tonight. He's had some hard-hit outs. We saw one to dead center field that was almost a homer.
Flannery in his 3rd appearance for Brewster. Throws the 1-1 to Hartle. That's a fastball in the outside corner for strike 2. And for Flannery, going to be a long reliever, it seems, for this Brewster team. He threw 3 innings on Wednesday against the Mariners, giving up 3 earned runs. He's in inning number 2 right here as the 1-2 to Hartle fouled straight back. But Flannery only goes that third of an inning in his first appearance. Gives up 2 earned runs there. 3 earned runs in that last appearance. Ran into some trouble in that 8th inning with the walk to Houston, the single for Kojal. And the leadoff walk here. And a 1-2 line drive to center. Diamez Ross, a bunch of speed, and he's able to track it down for out number 1. 99 off the bat for Ben Hartle. It goes 313 feet to straightaway center field, but right to the glove of Ross.
And one of those games for Hartle where you have 3 really solid hard outs. We've seen him go to center field twice, a hard out at shortstop at Kent. So the hits aren't there, but seeing the ball very well.
Now Garrett Michelle, one more chance in the box tonight for the Hokie. 4 for 4 with a homer, a double, and 2 singles. He takes the first pitch, and there goes Jackson to second. No throw from Helfrich. That's the 3rd stolen base of the night for the, the 4th stolen base of the night for the Bravos. 2 for Conrad, 1 for Michelle, and now 1 for Isaiah Jackson as Helfrich goes to have a chat with Flannery.
And Michelle here, just talk about multi-hit games, what he's been trying to turn his summer around. You get the 4 for 4. You talk about the triple still intact for a cycle. Would be history for the Braves. You go back-to-back summers, only team with a cycle is a Bourne Brave.
For Michelle, just 6 hits in 14 games coming into tonight. He has 4, looking to make it a 5 for 5 night here in Brewster. Jackson now at second, the 1-0 heater, below the zone for ball 2. And Michelle, 2 hits in his last 30 at-bats prior to tonight. That dates back to the 21st of June at Falmouth. Both of those hits against YD, both singles. So the power also breaking through for the first time in about 3 weeks here tonight. 2-0, green light, why not? And it's fouled straight back by Michelle, who just missed that one.
And the pitch that he likes, that's a fastball that's middle, and just fouling it straight back. But we've seen Michelle also battle with 2 strikes, still has a 2-1 count.
As Jackson leads at second following his first stolen base of the night, his second this summer. 2-1 from Flannery. Up and out for ball 3. And I'm sure Michelle wouldn't mind reaching base 5 times if he can't get that 5th hit. He's got the homer, the double, 2 singles, and a stolen base tonight. A near perfect night, and a huge scoop at first base to end that 8th inning. Here's a 3-1 from Flannery. Another one fouled straight back to the netting. Michelle, a smirk as he takes his walk around the batter's box as he will dial back in with a full count and 1 away for Bourne here in top 9.
And we saw his full count solo homer. That came early in the second.
Flannery, 2 rocks, comes set at the belt. Jackson dancing. 3-2, below the zone for ball 4. It's not a 5th hit for Garrett Michelle, but he's going to reach base 5 times here tonight with a 1-out walk.
And the only Bourne player this summer that's had more than 3 at-bats that has been able to reach base safely every single time. 4 for 4 night, you reach base 5 times. Michelle, just a night to remember here that could really turn around his summer.
Ethan Conrad reached base 5 times a couple of weeks ago for Bourne. And for Michelle, one of the best single-game performances for a Bravo this summer here tonight, with the 4 hits, the walk, including the homer and the double. Now Tristan Becerra, the new guy. First pitch, taking, and it's in there for strike 1. Becerra, a big spot here for him. He's so far tonight 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Lined out into the double play to end the 4th. Also reached on an error in the 6th. But he's got his first chance at an RBI here for Bourne. A 2 runners on and 1 away. 0-1, line drive, past Farrow and into right field. Jackson will get the stop at third base. A great relay by J.D. Rogers in right field. But Tristan Becerra, not his first RBI, but his first hit in a Bourne uniform, will load the bases.
And he smoked it to the right side, past the diving Farrow, and gives the Braves bases loaded here. Grady just trying to do a job. Extend that lead to 4, 5 runs, make it a lot tougher on Brewster with 3 outs in bottom 9.
We talked about Bourne needing to add insurance here in top 9 after the Whitecaps score 3 in the bottom half of the 8th. And what a chance here. Clay Grady to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 away, and a 7-4 Bourne lead. The first pitch to Grady. Fastball outside corner for strike 1. Grady now the lone Bravo not to reach base safely tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt. Also a strikeout to end the second. Flannery's 0-1 below the zone as the count evens. And for Grady, he had that 7-game on-base streak snapped on Monday. Went 0 for 4 on Monday with a strikeout. Now 0 for 3 tonight. Looking to get back on track. 1-1. Curveball on the ground to third. The throw by Fisher to Thoreau. The relay to the Bourne dugout. It's going to skip in front of the dugout. Jackson in, Michelle in, and there's that insurance. Wasn't pretty, but the fielder's choice by Clay Grady scores 2, and it's 9-4 Bravos.
And either way, it was going to be a fielder's choice. Grady was flying down the line, has that speed. What makes it worse there is that throw going to the dugout. Scores 2 runs for the Braves. Now taking a 9-4 lead, and that's exactly what we needed there. So Grady, it's not the hit, but he does his job putting it in play. And Bourne tonight, now 3 errors on the Brewster side.
So Becerra off the bases. Grady now the only base runner at first in a 5-run Bravo lead. And the first pitch to Merrick Houston, scooped by Helfrich out of the dirt for ball number 1. Houston coming to the plate for the 6th time tonight. He's 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI single. As Bourne looking to add more. 1-0 fastball. My goodness, turned on and a 1-hop off of the Bourne, rather the Brewster dugout. That one, a screamer from Merrick Houston.
And there's a reason there's that netting in front of the Bat boys and girls on the both third and first base side.
There was an error issued to Drew Thoreau on that fielder's choice. We'll get the official scoring here in a second. As there goes Grady. Great jump on the 1-1, and he reaches second base just as the pitch hits the glove of Ryder Helfrich.
And now Grady with that 8th stolen base on his summer, but that fielder's choice into an E4. 3 errors for Brewster.
And a 2-1 count here to Merrick Houston. Outside for ball 3. The count moves to 3-1. There will be an RBI issued to Clay Grady there. And then Michelle will score on the error. A 2-run play for Bourne to make it 9-4. 3-1 to Houston. Another walk for him. And what do you know? He gets that lead in walks overtaken the other night against YD. He comes back from Team USA, gets 2, and immediately takes that team lead back.
And just works the count so well. It's such a good eye. And what he was able to do through the first 8 games, having 11 walks, was already crazy to think about, and picks up right where he left off.
The walk merchant is back for the Bravos. And Cam Koziel to the plate. With 2 runners on. Takes first pitch upstairs. And Houston, after not reaching base his first 3 trips to the plate tonight, has now reached base in each of his last 3, with a single in the 6th and the back-to-back walks here in the 8th and the 9th. He's now up to 13 walks here across 9 games on the Cape. Two-way here in top 9. The 1-0 to Koziel popped up foul, and it'll go into the woods behind the Brewster stands. The count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Koziel tonight, 4 for 5. Rather 3 for 4, excuse me. A couple of singles and a double. Wanting to add to his great night here. 1-1 with 2 away. On the ground to second. This is Farrell going to second for out number 3, and the fielder's choice is going to end the top half of the 9th. But Bourne gets those insurance runs on the Clay Grady fielder's choice. It's 9-4 Bravos heading into bottom 9, looking to put the finishing touches on their 8th win of the summer. Stay with us on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
It'll be John Abraham to try and close this thing out for the Bravos on a Wednesday night here in Brewster. 9-4 the score, as the Whitecaps will send Diamez Ross, Nick Dumanel, and Caden Kent to the plate in need of 5 to tie this thing up as the darkness looms here at Stony Brook Field. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. And for John Abraham, he's going to make his second appearance of the summer.
Yeah, and that first one was just 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, and 3 strikeouts versus Harwich back in the 5th, and the Braves 5-2 win, And we saw what Abraham was able to do. Commands the zone well, the righty. 34 innings this past spring for the Seminoles, and looking to close things out here, not allowing a threat for Brewster, and as you mentioned, that darkness here, but very likely we get through the final 3 outs.
Much longer than we got through the other night at Lowell Park. Only 5.5 innings played between Bourne and Katuitt there. An 8-7 Kettleer win. But here in bottom 9, it's John Abraham to get the final 3 outs. Diamez Ross squares the bunt, pulls back, and it's ball 1 from the Florida State sophomore, who has a 4-pitch mix of a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and a slider. Tends to favor that curveball and changeup when he gets into a bind. 1-0, another fastball above the zone to make the count 2-0. Against Diamez Ross, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He walked his first time up back in the 2nd. In a night that did not go Brewster's way at the beginning. 2-0 from Abraham. Diamez Ross squares. It's popped up, but well out of reach of Hartle as the count moves to 2-1. Bourne looking to win game number 8 so far this summer. If they hold on, they'll move to 8-11-2, and at the moment distance themselves a little bit from Falmouth, who currently sits in 5th place. Abraham working out of the wind here on the 2-1 to Ross, and a swing and a miss at a pitch above the zone will even the count. But a quick update from McKeon Park. Falmouth and Hyannis still tied at 1 apiece, but the Commodores have a runner at first with 1 away in that top half of the 6th inning. 2-2 from Abraham. Breaking ball fouled away by Ross, who recently announced his transfer to UCF from Florida State. And man, Coop just missed that one. Too slow.
He got the peace sign as well.
Wow, some friendly competition between the bat and ball boys here tonight at Stony Brook Field. As Abraham fires in the 2-2, and it's popped up to the left side. Holcomb running out of room, and officially does run out of room as it lands into the bleachers. What a day it was for Braden Holcomb. 3 2-out hits to drive in a run in his first 3 at-bats. An RBI double, an RBI single, a 2-run single on an infield single to give him 4 RBIs. He also made a couple of tremendous plays at third base. And a 9-4 Bourne lead as the 2-2 from Abraham. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The first punch out of the night for John Abraham, his 4th of the summer, and out number 1 here in bottom 9.
And that's what his snappy off speed can do. Just kind of snaps into the strike zone at the last second. So those 42 strikeouts, only 29 walks this past spring. That's a really good pitch right there from Abraham, who's looking to control the zone a lot better entering his sophomore season.
And we'll get a pinch hitter here for Nick Dumanel. It'll be Cooper Vest out of BYU. Going to appear in his 13th game of the summer, hitting .211 with a couple of doubles and 2 RBIs. Going to face the right-hander Abraham. And the first pitch Vest sees tonight. He lines up the middle for a base hit. So Cooper Vest wasting no time, seeing a first pitch here tonight and lacing his 9th hit of the summer for Brewster.
And back-to-back hits for Vest in his appearances. Got the night off last night, but back on the 7th against Orleans went 1 for 3. That's what you have to do off the bench when you're cold like that. Kind of just find your first pitch, be the aggressor in the box, and he does that there.
So that puts Vest at first base with 1 away for Caden Kent, who's 1 for 4, a single back in the 3rd. Reached on an error to begin that 8th inning by Clay Grady at second, and then scored on that 2-run single by Brody Donay. Abraham, a long couple of rocks to a set, and the first pitch he throws to Kent is a curveball in there for strike number 1. Kent came into the night hitting .414 across 7 games, 3 doubles, 5 ribbies. He extended his hitting streak to 8 with that single he had his second time up. And now a 1-0 pitch from Abraham. Line drive, way foul, just past the Bourne dugout. But the Bravos, how huge of a win would this be for them? The offense finally breaking through. So close to that double-digit run total, something they've only done 1 time here in the 2024 season. That was a win a couple of weekends ago against Chatham back at Dorn Park. They settle for the 9 runs, though, and try to preserve it here in bottom 9. A 5-run lead for the Bravos. And an 0-2 pitch from Abraham. Kent does go around. Hartle will apply the tag, even though didn't need to, and that's out number 2. And the Bravos 1 out away from win number 8.
And a big one more out right here, and what the Braves were able to do, coming on the road, 14 hits, 9 runs on the offensive side. You come off a loss and then a day off to reset, entering this second half. This is a really good response and a good start into the middle of July, what Bourne needs.
Ryder Helfrich represents the last chance for Brewster tonight, as the Bravos look to beat the Whitecaps for the first time in the 2024 season. Helfrich 0 for 4, lined out to Holcomb in that 3rd inning. That was his hardest hit ball of the night. And the first pitch he sees from John Abraham, he taps foul past 3rd. Helfrich doesn't have a hitting streak on the line or anything like that, but still in search of just his 2nd hit against Bourne this summer. He didn't play in the first matchup, went 1 for 4 with a homer a couple of weeks ago at Dorn Park, and 0 for 4 tonight to make him 1 for 8 against Bourne this summer. Vest leads off a first, and the 0-1 curveball drops into the bucket for strike 2, as Abraham 1 pitch away from sending Bourne home happy. Bourne scored in the first 6 innings tonight, added 2 more in the top of the 9th. A 9-4 Bravo lead, and Abraham comes set. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it from Stony Brook Field. What an offensive performance tonight by the Bravos, and they come out victorious over Brewster, 9-4.
An offensive performance indeed here for the Braves. Cam Kozel started, and he started hot, reached base 4 times, going 3 for 3. We talked about Braden Holcomb, the 4 RBIs in his first 3 at-bats on 3 hits. Garrett Michelle won the night, reached base 5 times. Long ball was there. Everything you could ask for the Braves on the offensive side, and this is what the offense can bring to the table. There's so much talent 1 through 9, and this is hopefully the start for the Braves to turn things around for an offense that was expected to be a little bit hotter early, and here tonight came into their own with their best performance of the summer.
And how do we not talk about Garrett Michelle? 4 for 4 with a walk. Derek Bender was here, loved the performance he saw from his buddy from last summer. The home run to start it for Michelle, the double down the left field line, the couple singles. We thought he had a chance for the cycle there late, but what a performance for him to really get his summer going.
Yeah, and what he was able to do last summer was kind of shown here in what he was able to do for his first 9 games of Virginia Tech this spring until that broken wrist. He was hitting .400. So Michel now getting into his groove, and baseball is such a confidence game, so you hopefully think that in the middle, bottom of this order, he can get in his groove, but the solo homer on a 3-2 upstairs pitch, we saw the singles working the walks. That's a part of this order, and Michel, a guy that now can really turn things around towards the bottom.
And on the flip side of things, Bo Bryant's his second start, and he was, you could argue, even better than he was in that first one. His final line tonight, 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, coming off of a start he had against YD last week where he gave up only 1 earned run on 2 hits.
8 strikeouts in his last 2, 10 innings total, and only 6 hits on that 1 earned run. Really good job here for Bo Bryans, and if he continues to be in this role, what he brings to the Braves as a starter late in the season when the games become that much more, I think the Braves found a starter that they desperately need to find in this rotation.
As the arms start to shuffle in and out, Bo Bryans expected to be here for a good bit longer, really coming into his own here on the Cape. As we look ahead, tomorrow at Orleans, the makeup from a couple of weekends ago where that game kind of canned pretty late. Bourne was on the way there. They had to go back, but you go to Orleans for the first time tomorrow, the first time you play the Firebirds since opening day, and a big chance to win back-to-back games coming off the off day.
And Orleans at the moment down by 1 against Harwich. They're playing some closer baseball. They were in that little fog out with the rain against Falmouth that was a 1-run win for the Commodores after a lot of controversy. Orleans has played good baseball. They pitch very well. It's just the hitting for this squad that has been the troubling part. But on the Cape, you can't overlook anyone. Is this the best chance for the Bourne Braves to win 2 in a row for the second time this summer? The answer is yes, but Bourne still has to play their best baseball and continue to keep this roll against Orleans heading into the weekend.
The final numbers tonight, Bourne with 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors for Brewster. They score 4 on 8 hits with 3 errors. Bo Bryans, the starter, will pick up the win, and for Brewster, Seth Tomczak, the starter, will pick up the loss. That's going to do it for us here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. For Adam Gotkin, our sideline reporter, and Jeremy Gay, our producer, and my broadcast partner, Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz, calling it tonight from Stony Brook Field. Bourne with an emphatic 9-4 win over Brewster.